Alrighty, everybody, and we're live. Today is Monday, May 24th.
Others.
I mean, yes, I guess.
Thank you for that.
But
Thank you for that.
yeah,
Let's
we're
go.
as you can tell, we lost a few members today. A few people couldn't be here. But you still have me, Earthworm Robotnik 010, and so did my cereal. And we've
I consumed their souls.
okay.
Don't worry, they'll be back for next time. It's cool.
But yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But one.
Today we got a very fighting game centric discussion today. But first, it's been about 2 weeks since we last did one of these as per our schedule. What were y'all up to this weekend or weekend or anything interesting happen?
No.
Not too much, really. Not too much.
Nothing really happened of importance outside
say
of
I got played like two recently, but that's about it.
Like I mean, like
Well,
played
I-
anything?
As
Like
far as playing, well, I decided that I'm probably going to CEO this year,
Okay.
and mostly for Battle for the Grid and Cross Tag because, well, I need everyone to know I'm the best Noel player there is, and
when does the
well,
when do Ryu and Chun Li drop anyway?
Tomorrow.
yeah, tomorrow, yeah.
Ooh, nice.
And
But,
well, of
they
course,
put
then
up
you
the
have
one
my
on
Lord
the active
Zed
frame.
needs to flatten everyone's dicks,
Your
including Ryu's.
your Zed is scary.
Zed, I got TO. Oh, if anyone wants to watch this, Zed, they can watch my Earthworm versus Friends Battle for the Grid, which
It's
is
only
being
gonna get scarier because I found
Is
out. Well,
Zed-
Are you ready,
I lacked
Rangers?
some problem.
Easy, fellas.
It's time for your dick flattening, Rangers.
his Zed is scary. His Zed is like
Aye, Captain.
It's going to get scarier because I'm gonna start spending a lot of time in Battlefield.
he's gonna start studying the blade.
Oh yeah, and
He's
well,
going
I
to
do
lab
mean-
it. He's going to lab until he becomes the best player in the world.
Get
Just
careful,
merely
guys.
knowing what to do, so I shudder to think about what happens when he's motivated.
Oh yeah, like I mean, I do made one of the Virgils, so that does fit.
So do
Just the
I.
idea of like a motivated Zed is scary.
Now I'm motivated, Rangers.
I need. Look.
But anyway, but yeah, so far with my weekend, I got Xenoblade 2 recently. It actually happened to be a European import because the game is, as far as I know, out of print in America, and most of the existing copies like command outrageous prices on the like places like eBay or Amazon.
Oh yeah, the
Like I think it's dollars for like new copies.
the secondhand market for Xenoblade 2 is insane.
Oh yeah, totally. Like and like concerning like Switch, like I like to get my games physical on Switch mainly because of how like a physical copy does not take up hard drive space. Like it's just like, you know, I just bite the bullet and try to find a physical copy, and I found a reasonable price for around $70, and that's like including shipping and handling and stuff. So I didn't have to pay too much to get it.
Okay.
That's actually really good. I paid only about $70 for it, which, you know, $10 more than the base price, but, you know, hey, shipping and handling, no biggie. Got it on time, plan on streaming it down the line, and I've almost finished Pokemon. I'm just, well, at least the initial quest, you know, like up to the Elite Four and stuff, but all I have left is Victory Road and the Elite Four. I was spending a little bit of time today grinding a little bit, basically beforehand, because Juan ended up being a massive difficulty spike. Mainly because of Kingdra, but anyway. How was everyone else's weekend?
Doing
I didn't watch.
doing pretty well. Like I know since we've been gone for the past 2 weeks. I know y'all have been doing quite a bit of streaming, like 010. I know that you've been playing a lot of Ace Combat recently.
Well, I played every PS2 game, and I even streamed Zero, but I'm taking a break from that series at the moment because trying to get seven is gonna be a little bit of a hard task, and 6 is only on Xbox, so that sucks. But whatever. I'm probably gonna play an RPG next, probably like Bug Fables or something like that.
And I've
This is a
heard
bit more
fantastic
obscure.
things about that.
Yeah, I heard it's a really good game. It's just kind of obscure at the moment, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I finished season 1 of Amphibia. It's a really good series.
Yeah, you were
If
posting it
y'all-
all throughout the Discord. I was like, dang, bro, you really got hooked on it, huh?
fucking good. I love
Hey
it.
kids, it's me, Hot Pop.
Yeah, kid, it's me, Batman. That is this friend. He's the fucking best. I love Hot Pop. So fucking.
Salty memes him a lot.
Oh yeah, because he deserves it. He's base.
Base department.
Yes, Hot Pop owns the base department.
And as most people know, I've been playing through a lot of the Ratchet and Clank games and trying to play through Infamous. Dude, going through Infamous again is so much fun. I remember I got introduced to the series by those games that they gave away originally during the initial hack that PS3 had so many years ago. And I had never actually finished 2, so I thought it'd be fun to go back through and try to experience the franchise again by trying to play through on my mainstream weekends. Trying to go through the whole franchise. And I've been putting a lot of time into Splatoon, as I probably talked y'all's ears off about.
Oh yeah.
OMG is that a Splatoon reference?
OMGs.
But over the weekend, I did get all of the main collectibles in the story mode. I'm trying to get everything finished before I jump back into multiplayer, because I forgot that when you do this weapon research, you unlock the hero weapons as like purchasable items in the weapons shop.
But yeah, I was just messing with you for the record. Obviously, like it's cool. Like Splatoon, from what I've seen, does look cool. It's just played it.
Yeah, it's crazy, especially when you get a good lead on people. Oh, dude, especially like I had that really clean Rainmaker round I showed y'all, where the round started and ended in 20 seconds. Because we just grabbed it and went. The other team could not do anything to stop us.
So, is there anything else we should discuss before we get into the topics?
Any big announcements or anything, guys?
I mean, I already said what I wanted.
I do not have anything impressive to announce at this time. Just chilling. I just don't have a lot to talk about this time, but hopefully next time I will.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna be here for next time because vacation, but I mean the CEO thing's really the only thing I really had to say.
Oh, yeah, man. Did we start a new topic or no? No, we didn't.
No, we're doing like any announcements or anything.
Okay, announcements. Oh, I got one.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so this week I'm doing Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. I should probably have it finished by Thursday, considering that game's actually really damn short.
I love Sly Cooper.
Sly Cooper 1's a really good game. I really need to get back to playing Sly 2 because that game's actually really good. I just dropped it for some reason. But anyway.
Oh yeah, me too. Like I actually.
I think the reason I dropped it is that I'm like, hey, let's play some Twisted Metal games. I haven't played Twisted Metal in a while, and it just gave me a massive Twisted Metal kick.
But yeah,
I had ever seen since.
Sly Cooper 2 will make you so mad you'll want to slam Twisted Metal into your PlayStation.
It didn't make me mad. I was still playing the game. I'm like, I'm having a good old time. Then I'm just like, I just got really bored one day. I'm like, and I just found my copy of Twisted Metal Black. I'm like, I'm gonna play some Twisted Metal Black.
Bro. Like, honestly, like, I played the fucking, like, Sly... I had the Sly Cooper collection, and, like, I got all the collectibles in Sly 1. I didn't do the time trials, because, you know...
The time trials either,
I'm shit with time, and,
it seems like that was the only of those PlayStation collections that didn't have something weird messed up about it.
Yeah, but, like...
No, they freeze randomly, I will say that. I've encountered Sly 1 freezing randomly.
Okay, but, like, going back to that, like... Going to, like, your whole thing of, like, I just stopped Sly 2. I also stopped Sly 2, and I was doing the same thing with, like, you know, like, grabbing all the collectibles. Like, I stopped as soon as, like, the Contessa takes, you know, like, the team.
Before then. I stopped in, like, the middle of episode 3 for some reason. I don't know why. I really don't... Yeah. Like, it wasn't even like I was stuck or anything.
Yeah, again,
anyway, basically, let's get back to Toy Story here.
But
so
yeah,
anyway,
guys, chill. Jesus.
No, I would simply say. Anyway, going back to Toy Story.
Okay, but like, can I finish my thing?
Sure, go on. I suppose.
Okay, sorry. It's just like, but like, I actually agree with you because it's like like I just suddenly stopped playing it after like that point, and it's like I wasn't stuck or anything, but it's like I just started playing other stuff, and I just never really got the chance to give the game the deserves. And it was nothing wrong with the game. It was
Sorry about that.
yeah no.
But anyway, basically, after Sly, I am planning on doing a Sonic the Hedgehog marathon because it's Sonic's 30th anniversary this year.
Ooh,
And
I've always had a rough transition to 3D.
And I had about 150 subs on YouTube recently. And originally I was going to do Earthbound, but because Sony's being really weird with the OST,
No,
I'm
things
not
are coming back.
anything. Like, I'd really rather not risk getting Sony's wrath, so I'm gonna do Sonic the Hedgehog instead, because I hadn't actually covered Sonic on my channel. Which is funny, considering my channel name is Dr. Earthworm Robotnik.
That's the mystery. Like, wouldn't it be great if a plot twist happened and it's just like, I've never played these before?
Anyway, considering I'm a huge Sonic fan, like, especially anyone that's known me since, like, on my old DeviantArt back in, like, 2012, they should know, like, I'm a huge Sonic fan. But anyway...
Oh boy, DeviantArt.
Most of the games, which I'm also going to include a few of the spin-offs, which, yes, there will be a showcase, not a full playthrough of, but a showcase of Sonic Freeriders.
I like how you're just like, oh yes, there will be blood.
There will not be a full playthrough of that game because I am not that crazy. I may be crazy to do a complete playthrough of Ride to Hell, but not Sonic Freeriders.
Earthworm Sama.
But that will mean yes, that will mean I will also be playing Sonic 06, as over LP'd it is. I have to do it for this marathon explicitly. And I won't be just playing it because, oh, lol, look, funny game, look, bad game, funny. No, I'm not doing that. If anything, I'm more just going to play it as more of an explanation of, okay, but here's the reason why this game is the butt of many jokes as it is.
Okay, but,
that will also mean I'll play Secret Rings also, which that game is not good.
It isn't, but, Earthworm Sama?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, I have a request. For when you do Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, I have to be there.
Oh, totally, don't worry.
Because...
I want to be there for colors, especially, because I love colors.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the main reason why I want to be there for Sonic.
And you also need to play Colors DS.
I'm playing Colors DS. I'm playing the console version.
Okay, but like,
well,
they're very different.
I'm omitting Rush also because it's like I don't want to like just overdo a lot of games.
Okay, but like here's why I really.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. No, it's good, Jalen. I just 0-10. Sorry.
No, it's fine. We're on a first name basis. I was just doing it so people know who's talking.
It's good. Okay, it's good, Jalen. It's just more like I'm just simply saying like it's just I don't want to add too many games because I have a lot of games on this list as it is.
Yeah, and I kind of want to add to like why I want to be there for Adventure 1 and 2 because. I mean, I do love those games, but also the main reason why I want to be there is because it is the best incarnation of my favorite character, Tails.
Adventures 1 and 2 have like the best version of Tails. Totally, I agree.
Yeah, and like I genuinely love how like the whole game is just based, but like both those games, they actually make it where it's like Tails is on par with Eggman, and I thought that was really cool.
I just like how those games, the characters, receive actual development too.
I agree.
Yeah, like Amy is more than just, oh look, Sonic is hot.
Horny disc. More than horny disc.
Like Amy actually has a lot of character in the adventure games, especially with Adventure 2, which we'll get into that when we play it.
Oh yeah, totally.
Or like just like, and I feel like it also has really good. Like, oh, by the way, that will also mean I will be doing all 10 paths for Shadow the Hedgehog also.
I need to be there for that. I need to be there for that. I fucking hate that game.
If you do all 10 paths of it, I will actually be very impressed.
I will beat all 10 paths.
Motherfucker, I've done it. It's not worth it, but I have to be there.
The paths of pain.
Let's play, and I just really need to tear this game apart.
Yes, I need to be there because
enough when I did my Jack 2 LP, but I need to tear it apart even further. I didn't hurt the game enough.
Earthworm shall know pain.
You don't understand. Soda
you shall know true pain.
I sold that game for Taco Bell money. That should say how much I do not care about that game.
So goddamn much. I hate it so
fucking much. I sold it for Taco Bell money.
This world shall know true pain.
Which is pretty much how much it's only worth. It is not
Shadow the Hedgehog is why I have a drinking problem.
Nice.
Yes.
But yes,
Not
and this
so fog.
playthrough will end with forces. This marathon will end with forces. The last game.
You can do forces by yourself. I don't give a fuck about that.
Forces is only gonna be like an hour long. Forces is only gonna be an hour long, honestly.
Yeah, Shadow though, I had to fucking be there for that shit.
Forces is like the thing with Forces is that it is a game that I think has a runtime of 2 hours, and I'm gonna be using the PS4 version of that because it was a
Forces,
PlayStation.
more like Forces.
It's free. The reason you're doing the PS4 one is because you got it for free, right?
I got it for PlayStation. It was PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I agree with you. That's how I fucking played that piece of shit.
It's not a good game. I don't like that game.
It's not.
Like, it's not the worst Sonic game, but it's the one I would argue. I would argue to an extent. Keyword is to an extent. I had more fun with 06, but it's just because 06 there was stuff to laugh about.
Yeah.
Do not take this as me saying 06 is an objectively better game, because it clearly is not.
Yeah, and I actually agree with you there. Here's kind of like my take on Sonic Forces, where it's like, my most hated Sonic game is Shadow the Hedgehog, for the record. And Sonic Forces, it's just a game that fucking depressed.
But yeah, we should make Sonic its own topic down the line, because I feel like
sorry about that.
Because we could. Oh no, I'm just simply saying that would be a good podcast topic down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Sonic Hedgehog is coming up, and also this Wednesday I will be doing a Guilty Gear Accent Core stream.
I've got to be there.
It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
I need to show off my cliff.
Yeah, we're gonna be playing.
Feast on both of you.
Oh no, not his cliff.
My Bridget.
My
Bridget shall consume you all.
We are even at best.
My Bridget will consume you all.
Soul
You will be
burn you
consumed by
over
pretty
quick.
boy.
I know the awesome power of gun flame.
I'm gonna boogie on your fucking grave.
Boogie woogie.
I'm gonna boogie on your fucking grave.
Boogie woogie
on our brains.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of that, you tried to watch. You tried to watch his award show, didn't you?
For some reason, Derek won't let us embed it stuff, so we'll have to watch it another day.
Ah.
I need
to.
I can't.
I could share and go to YouTube and watch it. That's
we'll watch it another day.
I thought after the Cool Cat stuff, he would have been left off the internet entirely. God, and
Derek is such a weird guy. I honestly think I might have an impromptu announcement. I might consider doing movie reviews.
Oh Jesus!
Just to review.
I'm there for
Well, they gotta review the Cool Cat sequel whenever that hits.
Hello, I'm the Earthworm Critic. I remember it because it's
you don't have
ground.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do movie reviews, but I also do have another project in the works of a top 15 fighting games list, which should probably come out, I would say, by the end of August, if all things said.
So, Central Fiction is number 1, right?
No, it's Keonta 2.
I will fucking end you!
Keonta 2 is the number 1 game.
Okay, fair enough.
No, it's Clay Fighter, clearly.
Yes. So, what's the topic for today, boys?
But anyway, anyone else got any other announcements?
No, I think I'm pretty set. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna still be continuing through the Ratchet and Clank franchise. I'm in the middle of going Commando, and I can't wait to get to 3.
Penis.
I can't wait to get to 3, because it's the introduction of one of my favorite villains in all of video gaming.
It's not
like, from what I've seen about that villain, Dr. Nefarious, he's basically me.
Dr. Nefarious is freaking
He's a
amazing.
great villain.
Yes, he is. And his and I love how when you fight Lawrence, he's just like, "Why are you helping him?" Well, I don't see you signing any paychecks.
That's basically me and you's relationship, basically.
Yeah.
Like, I'm basically the Dr. Nefarious to your Lawrence, to be honest.
When do I get to smack you upside the head?
Me and him are scratching each other's head.
When you lock up out of rage.
Yeah, actually, let me rephrase that. He's Dr. Robotnik. Me and Soda are scratching Grounder.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, let me be Scratch. I swear to God.
I'm Grounder, clearly.
Who's Coconuts?
Cedric.
I was about to say I'd probably
Thomas is.
I'd probably be coconuts though, because I'm easily agitated.
I'm like, oh wait, I am so sorry about that.
No, remember I'm easily agitated, so I might be
No,
coconuts.
no offense, Megan, at all. Sorry about that.
We're talking about
I mean,
character-wise.
Cedric's a cool guy.
I'm also kind of a hothead sometimes.
I mean, fuck Cedric because he disagrees with everything. But
Talking about a guy who can't even show up to defend himself, huh?
I mean, he does beat her ass in more. He knows. He knows.
Low
He
blows.
knows. He knows. Come on. I mean,
Honestly,
again, he's gonna shit talk me eventually, so it's cool.
He already does. He talks about Noel.
Oh yeah. Exactly. Yeah, which is a crime against my new world order.
Anyway, give me a second, guys. I'm up to you right back.
Okay, when you
So,
okay, we could probably
Give me 2 minutes, I'll be right back.
okay.
okay.
Yeah, we'll start the new topic
so
when Earthworm gets back.
Okay, but yeah. Should I talk about my love for Noel now, or should we talk about
That's the
else?
next topic.
I'm not going to get horny on the podcast. Don't worry.
I don't really care about that, dude. I have an 18+ warning for a reason.
I don't want to hear about.
it.
I don't want to hear about you talking about how much you want to
This is my account.
bang a fictional character. God dang it!
It took a lot for us to get
It's
here.
my wife, you
I'll allow it.
motherfucker.
I'll allow it.
I don't care if it's your waifu.
But
Remember?
Yeah,
that
but yeah,
one?
let's just
Not waifu, you motherfucker.
let's just generally talk about our day, I guess. Currently while we're recording this, I'm still going through, because after you beat the main game, there's kind of a new game plus to Splatoon where you have to go back through the levels with the 10, I believe it's 10 different weapon types, including the bosses. That's 197 plus more levels you have to play. Well, I mean, it's the same levels, but you got to think them through differently.
Yeah, hey, Crasher, son.
What?
Are you going to play through PlayStation All-Stars?
Well, yeah, I've already told Jesse that.
Why?
Because Ratchet's there, and like I said, my plan is to play everything that Ratchet and Clank are featured in, except for Secret Agent Clank. I can't figure out how to... I don't own that.
Girl, that's Ratchet.
Ratchet.
That was the only reason I fucking asked.
I have no idea what you're referring to.
This is
yeah.
a fucking term I heard everywhere in high school.
Well, yeah, Ratchet means you're extremely hood.
Yeah, girl, that's
Well-
Ratchet. Oh, I'm gonna cancel that.
No, that's generally what the term means.
Well,
God
I mean,
dang
to
it.
be fair, I'm gonna get canceled for what happens
Kinda.
later on in the podcast.
No, you're not.
So,
You're
yes, I am.
You worry too much, drama queen.
I am a queen, you mother.
I will have you know.
Drama
that I'm playing-
queen.
I will have you know that right now I'm
Drama
playing
queen.
Genshin Impact, and I am trying to trick out my official at the moment.
I wish Menti were real, cause I went.
Venti real in just a few more months when they do the rerun again.
Venti.
Please,
That sounds like
fucking Venti.
that sounds like a clickbait article. Venti will be real in 3 minutes, like one of those clickbait
Venti
YouTubers.
is base. Venti is.
They
base,
have
dude.
the Venti cosplayer come out. He's all dressed up.
That'd be based, honestly. Don't get
No
me
more 3
started
a.m.
on
Among
Venti,
Us
you-
potion for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't get
It's gonna be 3 a.m.
don't
Venti
get me
potions.
don't get
3
me
a.m.
fucking
Genshin
started on
Impact
Venti,
potion, do
or
not drink.
else I will get I will make this fucking I will make this fucking podcast AO. I swear to God.
Please
no,
don't.
he's gonna get mad at Mihayo and tell them to refund all of his rolls.
Don't go up against the government of China, please.
I won't. And you know what? Speaking of that, I actually kind of wanted to talk about that a bit. And again, this isn't as bad as it sounds. Okay.
Oh Jesus.
Okay,
Okay.
I know it sounds bad.
Yes.
Boom.
Okay. Like, I know everyone was kind of complaining, like how how like Genshin was like was like banning like the Hong Kong flag from like from like the game. But here's the difference between that and fucking Blizzard, okay? Genshin's a fucking Chinese game, so it's like, yeah, we have to deal with these motherfuckers, so they don't really have a choice. But like, whereas like Blizzard, they're a Western company, and fuck them for pandering to the Chinese government and making gay characters who are so easy to wipe out the gayness.
What?
Look, yeah, okay, like here's the thing, like Tracer and Soldier 76, it feels more like they're kind of like pandering to like the West with making them gay. And again, this is me talking about this. Like,
hell are we talking about now?
He's
talking
complaining about the
China.
government. Please don't.
Okay, you know what? Okay, I'm just going to end it with this.
I thought we were talking about
China
fighting
doesn't
games.
like the gays.
I thought so too, and we started talking about MiHoYo, and then Dustin went
Let him
ham.
finish, Jesse. Just let him finish.
I'm just genuinely confused. Get
Okay,
me up to
let me
speed,
finish,
everybody.
please. Please, let me
We
finish.
were just
I'm not-
talking about Genshin Impact, and then we started talking about the
Yes.
Chinese companies. Okay.
Okay, good.
Yes,
Okay, thank you. That's
I'm
all I
going to
wanted.
finish.
Context. I just wanted some context. I was like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
I don't
Yeah,
even
so,
know at this
okay.
point because I don't play it.
Okay, please let me finish. Okay,
Yeah, go.
thank you. Okay, thank
You
you. Okay, so like my whole thing is like the reason why I'm so against Overwatch and like how it portrays, like gay people. And again, this is kind of like coming from someone who is really like passionate about like this topic, given me. But like the way they do like like gay characters, it's something that can be like so easily like scrubbed away from the Chinese government, which
It's like
gay
with
people.
the that one couple in Rise of Skywalker. It's like the thing you could
So
easily
you
edit
don't
out.
think they actually care about?
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
that's fair. You don't
It's
think
just
they don't
pandering,
care about?
is what I agree. It's just
Yes.
fucking pandering.
Yeah, they're not sincere. Okay, I can feel that. I can feel that.
Yeah, it's pandering. It's totally pandering.
Yes.
Because it's only
Yes,
mentioned in the comics, and even then, like Soldier 76 being gay was only revealed right after another controversy too. So it's kind of done as more of a way of going, hey, look. Like
And
for the
this is
record,
coming
I'm
from
a
someone
massive
who's
supporter-
bisexual as fuck. Okay.
And not only that, this is coming from someone that's also a massive supporter of gay rights.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we all are to an extent,
Yeah.
I mean, you clearly are, given your love of Rhino.
But anyway, like this is coming from someone that like had a very that was a well, yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway,
Yes. But yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest since we were talking about China.
we should talk about that like another time though, totally, because I would.
Yeah, I agree. So
We
what's
did a fan in
the
China, but
topic
who
of this
cares?
podcast? But yeah, what's the topic for this podcast? We should probably get to that.
Yeah, we should probably get to
I
that.
was, like I said, we were trying to fill some dead air while Earthworm was away.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
I
since
agree.
I mean, I mentioned that it was a very heavily fighting game themed podcast, but I would like to know, you guys, what is your experience when it comes to fighting games and like how you found the genre?
I think I'll go first because this one is going to be a very long story because this is actually pretty lengthy from pretty much my entire time gaming, actually. So anyway,
You can go ahead first, because
Okay. when I was growing
you
up,
can go ahead first, because
okay,
like,
so
well,
I was
mine
feeling
is.
like right when I was
Guys.
around 4,
God,
when I was starting to be
I'm
introduced
sorry.
to when I was being introduced to gaming. Let's see, my dad had a PlayStation, which the games he showed me were 5 games that I remember specifically. Those games were Destruction Derby 2, which is
Heck
a very
yeah.
fun game. It's not a fighting game, but it's fun to play. But I'm just
no,
mentioning
what are
these
you talking
fighting
about?
games
It's the most competitive.
World Destruction. But anyway,
It's
there
got
was
its own
Destruction
meta.
Derby 2, there was Crash Bandicoot, there was Skull Monkeys because my dad rented it at the time.
Mm.
There was Twisted Metal 2, which is one of my favorite games of all time. And the last but not least, because this is a fighting game theme, is Tekken 2,
Ooh,
which Tekken 2 is the first fighting game I played. And I remember, I think that was like, it was either that or Twisted Metal 2 was like the first game that also introduced to me the concept of games having multiple endings for characters. So it was like and not only that, it was the first game I played that also rewarded you for beating the game with having unlockable characters. So like me and my dad would play through the game to unlock all the characters.
Hmm.
And then like one day so like Tekken 2 is like a very monumental game, so that's why I'm like a huge Tekken fan. Even though nowadays I don't play competitively anymore. I play Guilty Gear competitively more often than not, which I'll get into that in a bit. But Tekken I'm always willing to throw down and play because I love me some good Tekken. It's one of the like my favorite fighting game franchises of all time. And the bowling mode's also fun. But anyway, and Tekken and I grew up with playing Tekken a lot. I played Tekken 2, and then I lost the disc, but like years later I found Tekken Tag Tournament at GameStop with my dad when I was in 3rd grade. My dad's like, "Oh, Tekken, we remember this." So we bought it, and like I just remember, I think that was like the first fighting game that actually taught me the concept of how to lab combos.
Yeah.
And I played Yoshimitsu a lot at the time too, so that was like the character that taught me. Certain characters may be unwieldy at first, but if you take time to investigate their mechanics, you will find an awesome character beneath it. And Yoshimitsu, I loved how unorthodox he was, and I loved mastering all of his crazy combos. He was cool.
Y'all saw.
I mean, I need to lease this, so I can't really like bitch about.
Y'all saw Tekken on the shelf, and you were just like, it would bring back such good memories.
That was just more like me and my dad just always like used to always look at like every week we would look at GameStop, see what we could find in the used game section, because like at that point we were starting to get a lot of games we used to rent all the time too, because this is back when they sold PS1 games.
Yeah.
So we got like CTR for like $3. We got Twisted Metal 1 for $2.
So this would have been around the time like
2 for $2.
Sorry about that. My connection seemed to kind of go away for a sec.
So like
we
basically,
didn't hear
this is
anything.
what we always look at, like see what we
Okay,
can get
cool.
in these games, because like some games you get for like dirt cheap if you knew where to look at the right time back in the day. Like we got Jack and Daxter for like $5, I believe. Which, concerning how that's like one of the PS2 like mascots, that should say something.
Oh, that's PS2 royalty right there.
Yeah. We got like Jack. We also got like I think Jack 2 for like I think $10. Which, considering that's like one of my favorite PS2 games of all time, that's a massive deal. And I think we still got the. I wonder what. Oh, the sticker faded on GTA 3, so I can't even tell how much you got GTA 3 for.
Oh, the stickers are.
It's like, because I have a copy of Guilty Gear XX, which was like a recent eBay order, but it has like one of those old GameStop stickers. It was like apparently $20. That should say, like, if you knew where to look at GameStop, you could get like prices for like good, reasonable deals at the time. But anyway, get back to this. So we played a lot of, so like Tekken Tag Tournament taught me the concept of labbing a lot, and also we rented a lot of fighting games from Hollywood Video. So we rented Soul Calibur 2 because of a TV show called Judgment Day, which we were like, hey, this looks cool. And my dad had Soul Calibur back on the Dreamcast with my brother. So he was like, oh, a new Soul Calibur, this looks fun. So I rented that. I remember like we really liked that one a lot. Soul Calibur 2 is really good. And then I found a copy of that on Amazon for like $3 in like 2014. So I'm like, I'm buying this. And like I remember in my high school years, I played the crap out of Soul Calibur 2. Like just, I think it's like one of the fighting games I put at least 100
Honestly,
hours
Soul
into.
Calibur.
Like Soul Calibur 2 is like one of my favorite fighting games of all time for the PS2. And yes, I said the PS2. I had the PS2 version because I didn't own a GameCube growing up. And not only that,
like, Soul Calibur 2
Heihachi is
is
cooler
like
than Link. Heihachi is cooler than Link, and that is
Okay,
a fact.
Well, I mean,
Can I go on a little
Link,
bit of a.
Link doesn't fight with his fists. Heihachi does, but anyway. And we also
Okay,
run
but
another fighting game.
can I add something to the Soul Calibur 2 and Link thing?
Sure.
Okay, so I mean, for one thing, I mean, Soul Calibur 2 is like the only like Soul Calibur I'd be like, I would want to play this competitively. And two, give it, yeah, and also, not gonna lie, I first played the GameCube version, and thanks to that, and me not really growing up with Zelda despite being a Nintendrone, I actually thought Link was a Namco character for the longest time.
Oh
Like,
my
like,
god.
Oh, that's Link from Soul Calibur.
Yeah,
exactly.
you had a Ryu from Street situation.
Exactly. Yeah.
What character was that for me? Like, 'cause I do remember. I think I had that with Cat and Falcon, but I'll get to that in a bit.
Oh man.
But anyway,
yeah, because it seems like we all kind of converge on in Smash in some way.
so anyway,
some
like
way.
So yeah, we rented Soul Calibur. We rented DOA 2 one time, which we had a lot of fun with that one. DOA 2 is pretty good because they happen to have that, and this is back when the series was rated T for teen.
Yeah,
and
the
it was
series
just
is
like,
mature,
let's
ain't it?
take a look at this because my dad was always wanting to try other fighting games out at the time because he played a lot of Street Fighter back in the day.
It is mature. Could have fooled me. I would have guessed that this entire series was teen. Like Extreme Beach Volleyball, yes, I can see that is definitely mature, but
starting with DOA Ultimate onwards, they started rating them like M for mature because they had like more. They started adding more risk costumes.
risque.
Booby lady.
Yeah, risque.
Booby lady.
But anyway, we rented that. A few other games that we saw on Judgment Day, we also rented like Guilty Gear, which my dad did not like that at the time. So Guilty Gear for a while was like that fever dream game, which I'll get back to that in a bit. Like, remember Guilty Gear for a little bit because that one is going to be how this story ends. But basically, for a while, fighting games were very on and off, and I was familiar with Mortal Kombat also because I was also like one of my first fighters. Because I remember, like, I gotta tell the story of how I discovered Mortal Kombat because it's like the most like twist of fate kind of thing. So basically, I just discovered it because I was just in my dad's office when I was like little, and I was just looking through one of the boxes, and I found like a generic CD case that, which I still have it by the way, so I'm gonna pull it out real quick. That just basically says imitation CDR 650 megabytes, which was like simply like a computer CD that you would put in like, you know, save data. Because remember, this is before flash drives were a thing.
Yeah.
And I open it up because I'm curious, because to me it looks like a PlayStation case. And lo and behold, it has my dad's copy of Mortal Kombat 3 for the PlayStation, and they're like, "Ooh, game!" So I pop it in the PlayStation.
Like, he sounded like he just had a Homer moment, just, ooh.
Yeah, it's like, "Ooh, game!" Because like, remember, this is like when I'm 5, so it's just like, "Oh, let's see what this is."
Oh, you play Mortal Kombat at 5, holy cow.
Oh no! I mean, this is Mortal Kombat 3, so it's like my dad's like, "Oh, okay." But like, here's what he did. Like he like, because Mortal Kombat 3 in the options, they have an option to turn off the blood and the stuff.
Yeah, they do.
And like Mortal Kombat 3, you also have the friendship, so it's like that's how my dad was able to get around that.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like you could turn off the blood and the violence and only do the friendships and stuff.
Oh, the blood was
Which were
on.
genuinely funny too, which I'm so glad they added them back in 11. And then for a while, and then I remember my dad got WLCOME Treasures 2 for the PlayStation 2, which is the one that had the Mortal Kombat. It had Total Carnage. It had Rampage World Tour. You know those games.
Dude, I freaking love Rampage.
Rampage World Tour is awesome. But basically, my dad bought the WLCOME Treasures to have the Mortal Kombat.
I had a.
And and this is like, I would say when I was around 9, and me and my dad played those on and off, but they weren't really games I was like super into, especially because like Mortal Kombat 2's AI is just absolute horseshit.
Oh yeah, Motaro will make you cry.
Yeah, Motaro's 3, and honestly,
Motaro's a piece of shit. Fuck him. He's shit.
I actually figure out Motaro's AI now. Like, his AI is actually really simple.
I still love that one meme that y'all posted before that was just like, quick, we gotta ship the game. We forgot to give him a fatality.
Oh, dude,
that's basically
that in high school, like on the Screw Attack top 10 worst fatalities, and just laughing my ass off.
Oh, is that the one where he just punches the guy really hard?
He gently takes the head off. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
it's just his punch.
Animation, but like instead, like they reuse his victory animation, but instead he just gently yanks the head off. But like Mortal Kombat 2's AI is like the worst.
Let me pop it off like a little.
For anyone that hasn't played Mortal Kombat 2, just imagine the most psychic AI ever. Like, you just slightly move forward, they will immediately protect everything you're going to do.
I can already see 3 parallel universes.
Imagine the Psycho Manus fight, like where he reads your mind on steroids, and you can't plug the controller into controller 2 to deceive him. But anyway, Mortal Kombat 2, like, they were kind of fun little games to play on the side, and those were the games that taught me the importance of special moves, because, again, I didn't play Street Fighter for a while, until I was in high school, where in high school, this is where I would say I go from a casual observer of fighting games to this is going to be my primary genre, and I want to invest a lot of my money in games.
Why does this have to be like this?
So basically, this is in 2011. So this is when San Diego Comic-Con's a thing, and I'm just watching G4 at the time, and I see that Katsuro Harada, the guy behind Tekken, is with this guy called Yoshinoro Ono.
Mm.
and they are going to announce Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
No, not
This is
oh
back
no.
when everyone was generally like, okay, this sounds interesting. So I go and I have my iPhone, and I remembered I have the Capcom Arcade app, which back in the day was like a little thing where you could take a look at various Capcom Arcade games. And on there, I noticed they have Street Fighter 2 The World Warrior. And I'm like, now's as good a time as ever. I've heard about this series for a lot. Let's finally take a look at Street Fighter. And from that day forward for me, gaming was changed, basically. Like, it was like the eye-opener to, like, to something I was missing. It was like, I think Street Fighter was like the first fighting game I played besides Smash Brothers that was just basically just crack.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Was your first experience playing Street Fighter on a fucking iPhone?
Partially, but essentially I couldn't play it too often because the Capcom Arcade app, you had to buy tokens.
Oh
which were
yeah,
like
yeah,
$1 for 10 tokens.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
So I could only play it slightly, but it was like but they gave you like 3 free tickets to play it. And remember, this is Street Fighter, so the AI is going to kick your ass. But yes, it was on my iPhone, but I kind of liked it because it had like the easy special move buttons, so it's like it's easy to get an idea how to play the game.
Really? You used the easy special move button?
Not really, actually. I was just simply dive kicking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like,
Okay, you're forgiven.
I want the speed of this. So when I get enough money, about like I'd say a week later, I bought Super Street Fighter 2, the new challengers, on the virtual console because I used my Wii a lot at the time more than my PS3.
Same.
And I had a virtual console, and I had the classic controller, so it's like, okay, I can play Street Fighter properly now.
Okay.
And also, while I'm on the topic of the Wii, I just realized I actually forgot to talk about Smash Brothers. But Smash Brothers, I have a weird, interesting story. I'm probably like one of the few people that didn't play Melee till I was like 17. Because I didn't have a GameCube growing up, but
Well, my first Smash Brothers game was Brawl, so
yeah. I actually started with 64, which I'm gonna get to that in a bit. Basically, my friend had a GameCube, but he never had Smash Brothers at all. Like, it was kind of weird. Like, he never had Smash Brothers, but we always play like Double Dash and Star Fox Assault. So no biggie, pretty fine. But my dad downloaded an N64 emulator at the time, so we could take a look at the games we never played because I didn't own an N64. My cousin Holly did, but I didn't really go to her house that often. She didn't have a lot of games for it. At least as far as I know. It's been like a year. But anyway, my dad downloads an N64 emulator, and lo and behold, Smash Brothers. And at the time, I was really into Pokemon, so I mean Pikachu, which amusingly years later, I'd find out he's the most busted character in that game.
Bruh. Like, you're talking to someone who grew up with the fucking N64 Smash, okay?
Yep.
And everything you're saying is completely accurate.
A lot of people I grew up around all grew up with Melee. Like, I think the only person that's in my I'm talking about like in high school and stuff.
Yeah, but like I grew up with both. Okay.
I knew in high school that ever grew up with both the N64 and Melee is my friend Blacksmith Cosplay, who appears sometimes on my streams. But anyway,
and me too.
As well. I'm like, yeah, this is kind of fun. But then, I would say, around 2009, I was at a barbecue with a friend of mine, and he happened to have Melee. I mean, not Melee, Brawl. And they're like, "Oh, you got Brawl?" And it's like, okay, let's take a look at this. So we ended up just doing that the entire night because originally we were just going there to swim, but we were like, screw swimming, we'll just play Smash. So we were like, and we only had 3 controllers, so everyone's so I'm always anxiously waiting my turn because the second I played it, I'm like, this I need to get a Wii for because at that point I just had the PS3.
Yeah.
Which was a good call. I had some good games. I had a lot of good games for my PS3.
Hey, Earthworm.
Yeah.
Can I say a controversial opinion?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my controversial opinion. Smash Bros was never good until they added King K. Rool, and I don't believe that. So
Smash Bros not nowadays. I am going to probably get back into getting competitive because locals are starting to open back in my area again.
Yeah.
Same. I mean, I'm not gonna be the mean version of a pro Smash player, but I do want to be good with K. Rool.
I'm just doing this more of an excuse to get out of the house, you know?
I agree, yeah.
Like,
Honestly,
it's a good way to promote the streams.
I agree. And also, like, for me, it's like, K. Rool honestly means a lot to me. He was always the character who I wanted in Smash, and I was like, as soon as he came in, I was like, yeah, I have to main this character. And it's like,
I got stories.
I think the character for me was probably Simon Belmont.
that's fair. Like, honestly, the people who are like, oh my god, Richard is so cute. I mean, he is, but also like, they don't respect Simon. I'm just like, fuck.
Honestly, I prefer playing Richter, but that's more because it's just like I'm okay with Simon because I played a lot of Castlevania's 1, 3. I mean, 1 and 4. Like I forgot he wasn't in 3 for a second. I should have known better. That's sort of like I played a lot of
Trevor fucking Belmont there.
Like I played a lot of classic Vania, so I
agree. Yeah.
But I think Richter, I actually kind of prefer using Richter a little bit more, but it's just more because it's like a lot of.
I respect Richter more because I grew up. I played a lot of Symphony of the Night, and I love that game.
The thing is, a lot of Simon's moves actually come from Richter, so I just use Richter for that reason alone, mainly. But that's about it.
I mean, that's understadable. Like I'm not shitting on Richter, obviously, but
no, you're not. It's just like, I do feel like I will admit Simon looks cool because I also am like a huge fan of like the '80s aesthetic of him too.
Oh yeah, like
I'm a huge
again, this is me who's also kind of like, yeah, I prefer guys with like hair. So I'm just like, yeah, Simon,
unlike Richter, Simon is part of the superior specimen, caveman.
I agree. Yes.
But anyway, so basically, Smash was the game that got me to get a Wii, and which also eventually led to me getting Street Fighter. And then around that point, I start looking up other series. So I start learning about companies like SNK.
Oh my God.
Which I remember when I was 15, when I discovered mine, I was like, ooh.
Oh, jeez.
Bao Dinichi Boingi, right?
Because you gotta remember, this is like when I'm like, oh, I'm idiot 15-year-old.
I mean, Leona is way better, but
this is before I discovered Leona and stuff too. Like this was like all I knew was like all I knew up that point is SNK was like they were like the Capcom rival.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of better, but again,
this is when I was like an ignorant 15-year-old just learning about other games.
But like, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
Like I said, I'm not the. So I start learning about other companies like SNK. I start learning about other series like World Heroes, Fatal Fury, and eventually I start looking at these. I also started learning about other games like Killer Instinct, but I didn't have ways to play them at the time for a while. So then I started downloading other games. So for some reason, the one game I remember, like in 2012, that I played a lot of all games. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this. I feel ashamed. For some reason, I was on a massive Clay Fighter kick. Like, unironically, in 2012. Like, I don't know why. I spent a lot of time playing Clay Fighter for some reason.
You motherfucker.
The Clay Fighter Genesis. Oh no.
You motherfucker. I swear to God. You had the best fucking taste in fighting games.
When I was in high school. I don't know why.
You had the best.
This is on the level of Street Fighter.
You had the best fucking taste in fighting games. Shit.
No, but like, this is even like joking. I'm just like genuinely serious as like a 15-year-old. Like, man, this is awesome.
It is awesome, motherfucker.
I just really don't know why, but I was like really into Clay Fighter for some reason. And my dad's just like, why are you into this so much? Because my dad rented it back in the day, but my dad just was like, this is all right. Like, I think it's just part of it because, like, I was just, like, really captivated by the humor, and I was just like, I'm just really into claymation, but now I just realized Clay Fighter isn't that good. But anyway.
Teenage Earthworm
you realize the truth.
Teenage Earthworm be like, I'm gonna become a pro Clay Fighter player when he doesn't even realize that the best Clay Fighter player is right here, Soda in my cereal.
Anyway,
y'all in Clay Fighter, you motherfucker.
Y'all can settle that on Parsec later.
Year 2014.
Well, you might want to start wrapping it up, dude. You're kind of rambling a little.
This is after I had fully abandoned Clay Fighter because I started realizing Clay Fighter wasn't that good, and I started taking fighting games a little more seriously because this is when MK9 came out. And that was a game I remember really labbing, and it got me back into fighting games because Street Fighter Cross Tekken temporarily kind of killed my interest in them because that game just wasn't really good. Or as good as it could have been, to be more accurate. But you know, like everyone, like a lot of people don't like Street Fighter Cross Tekken. It had a lot of problems, and it didn't help that that game had a lot of shady practices associated with it. But I also got Mortal Kombat 9 with it.
It does have an Evo moment where Bad Box Art Mega Man literally flew to space.
Yeah, but he was tournament illegal anyway.
Bro, like, can I be real here? Like, Mortal Kombat 9 is probably, like, my favorite Mortal Kombat. And Freddy Krueger was my main because, you know, Freddy is, like, my favorite, like, you know, slasher.
I could totally agree with that being probably one of the best of the 3D, of the great Mortal Kombats. I would say my favorite of the trilogy is probably X, but I think
X is also up there, though I named Kung Jin, so you can
I like both 9 and X a lot. Like, I also think 11's also pretty worthy, too. It helps that 11's netcode's also really solid. And it has probably my favorite...
Make up world great again!
But anyway, basically...
please don't do that.
Basically, what I was working...
It's a reference to the game.
Yeah, it's a reference to the game. It's not... It's what Shao Kahn says, so it's actually fine.
Is it? It's Shao Kahn saying it.
Yeah, it's Shao Kahn.
I love Shao Kahn. I love Shao Kahn so fucking much.
Really, I gotta get back to this because I'm about to lose my train of thought if I don't. But anyway, me and my friends back then were working on a school project for we were working on a massive video project, and we were just trying to look for games to play, and we did not like PlayStation All Stars because that game also was bad. But a friend of mine noticed, hey, you got Mortal Kombat 9, why don't we play that? And at this point, I hadn't really touched it too much since that Christmas because, you know, Street Fighter Cross Tekken wasn't good. And I simply just didn't feel like touching MK9. But with my friends, we were like, hey, yeah, let's go and pop this in. And we were just having a great time with that, to the point that we would just simply go, when we were doing reshoots, we would just do the bare minimum and then just play a bunch of Mortal Kombat 9. And it was like the game that I'm like, I want to get back into playing these fighting games again because this is awesome. So,
this is happening.
I rediscovered games I played before that I rented. So I got DOA 2 and Soul Calibur 2 from Amazon for like dirt cheap prices. I also start looking up other games I hadn't heard. And this leads me to discovering a YouTuber named Alpha Omega Sin, who had a tendency to frequently mention probably my favorite fighting franchise of all time as of now, Guilty Gear. So I look up this Guilty Gear series, and I'm like, okay, this looks kind of cool. The character designs look awesome. Everyone's all named after rock bands, which I'm heavily into. The music is rad. The graphics look awesome. This looks pretty cool. However, the problem is I was like in that mindset still of I should probably start with the first game of the series, and Guilty Gear 1 was not cheap on the secondhand market.
The first game making me feel guilty.
No, it was more like I couldn't buy it. I didn't have the money to buy it, and I was just simply thinking, okay, what if I missed something? However, I found Accent Core on the PSN for about $15. However, I was still a little wary because I was just like, okay, what if my friends don't like this because, you know, what about the skill gap? However, come 2015, I decide to go for broke and decide, hey, screw it, I'm gonna buy it anyway. Like, if this game is fun, I'll lab it, and I'll find other people at tournaments to fight. So I bought it on a literal gamble, essentially. Like, I think it's the one game I can think of off the top of my head that I literally was just buying on a gamble. Suffice to say, that gamble was worth it because I found the combat very intuitive to get into. Like, I found the combat very simple to learn, but easy, but hard to master. And I really loved how unique and unorthodox the characters works. It wasn't like Street Fighter, which I played a lot at the time, where like Street Fighter, everyone outside of a few characters are mostly martial arts. Like you have Ryu, who uses like a mystical form of karate, or you have Alex, who's a wrestler, or you have E Honda, who's sumo, or you have Gaio, who's the military man. Like they're all like mostly grounded in reality with like the occasional freak character. And, like, the only ones that have, like, massive, like, overt superpowers being characters that are bosses or, like, have some explained magic to them. But even then, it's still, like, downplayed. Like, because they're still mostly, like, grounded martial artists.
I mean,
Like,
you're
there's a slight sense
talking
of
to
like,
someone.
there's like a slight sense of these characters seem slightly, grounded in reality.
Yeah, I agree, but like, and I totally get what you're saying, but you're also talking to someone who is like, yeah, this character Blanca is the coolest shit
No,
ever.
what I was saying is like the freaks. Like, there were freaks no, I was saying like there were freaks in Street Fighter, but the freaks were like the ones that stuck out because they weren't as common.
Yeah,
That's what I'm getting at. Like characters like Blanca, and even then Blanca was just simply a beast man. Like he wasn't.
yeah.
You're talking about how Guilty Gear blew your mind because it's a cast full of freaks, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm getting at. You have a cast that's entirely freaks. Like you have Soul Bad Guy, who's like this half human, half
Soul Bad Guy.
that's
He's
like
not a bad
120
guy,
years
though.
old. That, or you have characters like Kai, who is ostensibly the most normal until you get down to the fact that he was essentially a former child soldier.
Hmm.
And then
Wait, that's a lot more normal than most other characters.
yeah,
Guilty
or you have
Gear.
characters like Milia Rage who fights with their hair, or you have Zano One who's a blind assassin that fights with his shadow that's a symbiote, or you have Bridget who fights with his yo-yo,
Bridget Bates.
or you have characters like Faust, where Faust is just where Faust, I would describe him perfectly as like this living cartoon character that fights using Toon Force. Or then you have characters like Zappa, who's this dude that's possessed by 5 ghosts. Like, everyone in Guilty Gear, like, is completely off the wall and feels original, which I really like that about the series. Whereas, like, Guilty Gear, whereas, like, Street Fighter, yeah, the few characters there are mostly, like, just slightly realistic, and the freaks, even then, are just simply, like, standard tropes that we see. Like Blanca's the beast man, Gil is the pseudo-god, Bison is, like, this super villain, like, Seth is a robot, 12 is the T-1000, basically stuff like that. Stuff we've seen, basically. Whereas, like, Guilty Gear, a lot of the cast
12
feels
is the best, you
like
motherfucker.
really unique. Like, which is
And you ever shit talk 12 again.
and Guilty Gear, I would say, is like the game that really got me to branch out and trying a lot of other new games. So I played King of Fighters, love King of Fighters, really good. Oh yeah, we're talking about Guilty Gears because we're talking about fighting.
I
games.
guess you could. Yeah, I guess you could say though that the game made you strive for other games.
Oh yeah, I was like, hey, I like what I'm liking here, so it got me to branch out and playing other Arc System games. So I played Blaze Blue, like Blaze Blue. I like Persona 4 Arena, which got me to play actual Persona games, starting with P5, which I loved P5, really good game. I got
Started with P5, eh?
I also am going to probably play Persona 4 Golden if I can stream it, because I would like to stream my first playthrough of that down the line. Like, the reason why I got P4 Arena before I played an actual Persona game, it was that me and a friend saw it at an anime convention we went to, and we were like, hey, we like how this game plays, so I found a copy of it at GameStop for like $10. So it was more like, I liked how this game played, so I want to play more of it.
Yeah.
Can I say another controversial opinion?
Go on.
Wait. Before you do, just to be sure, so first is Jesse, then me, then Dustin.
I will go last.
Yeah.
Why are we going last on the history of us playing fighting games?
Because, well, I mean, I'm fine with it, and well, that's really the only reason. But
And plus, I haven't spoken. I figured I would go last because mine's extremely concise.
Dude,
Anyway,
if you want to go last, dude, that's fine. But can I say my controversial Persona opinion beforehand?
go on.
Yukari is the best Persona girl.
A lot of people like her.
That is not correct.
You
that's
are
really not
shit.
correct. Makoto
So
exists.
you both are shit.
No,
So
okay.
You go die.
Makoto exists.
You do not
Makoto
exist
isn't
when
even the
I'm
best
here.
girl in her game. What are you talking about?
You don't even exist, fool.
Shit, no, Yukari today.
Who don't exist in my reality?
Anyway.
You do not exist when
Anyway, as
the
I was saying,
god
so I played like all.
comes.
I even
But
played
okay,
Under
go
Night
ahead.
first because it was one of the free PlayStation Plus games one year, which I actually really liked. Under Night, it was pretty good. And I wouldn't eventually,
You got
as of now,
that.
I've taken a look at other games. I played World Heroes. I've played King of Fighters. I played everything pretty much at this point. I think the most recent series I had discovered was, I believe, I want to say. Yeah, I got nothing. I think I pretty much played all the series I discovered.
You mean Kianta, right?
Oh yeah, we played Kianta recently, which was actually a fun joke game.
Again, we mean Kianta, but it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, but let's only look at Kianta too. It's fucking free. You have no excuse not to
Also
look at
play
it.
Schwarzenblitz. It's also a pretty fucking good game.
But to finalize this,
Hey, Jerpel, thanks for stopping in.
I do want to end this with basically saying what my preference for fighting games are. My preference are typically 2D hyper fighters, like anime fighters, like Guilty Gear. I like Marvel, and I also like to play the.
Oh, yes, my favorite anime game, Marvel.
Well, I said like hyper
Like Battle for the Grid.
It's the way you worded it. It's just like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Marvel.
Basically, I like hyper fighters. Hyper fighters are pretty good, and I also like a good 3D fighting game. Like, I love me some good old Virtual Fighter. I love me some Dead or Alive. I love me some Tekken, and I especially love me Soul Calibur, especially because you can create your own custom characters.
That sounded like caveman talk. I love me Soul Calibur.
He's like, I love me some Soul Calibur. It's a great game.
Soul Calibur, good.
But anyway, and I also like to play some platform fighters. So I like Smash Brothers. I like Rivals of Aether, and that's about it.
Especially when we found out about the modding scene.
Digimon Rumble Arena. Digimon Rumble Arena is a good platform fighter, but other than that, most of the other ones are crap.
What about Dream Mix TV?
Oh yeah, that game. That game's actually pretty alright. I have.
Yeah, where else can you have a platform fighter where you can have Solid Snake fight Optimus Prime while Bomberman's sitting there?
My friend of mine has the import copy. I just hadn't played a lot of it. So
That's a funny game. I really want to play it myself.
Like I just simply don't have enough to form an opinion on it. So, but I have said, I will say from what I played of it, I liked it. But anyway, like most other platform fighters are not good. Like you got Punch Time Explosion, which is just bad. That game is just bad.
Which, I mean, hypothetically, we could make a better version of, but, there's nothing confirmed.
We could totally make a better version if we could, because we played fighting games.
Like, hypothetically, of course.
Hypothetically.
With, a hypothetical Evil King parent.
But anyway, and also, like, not to mention PlayStation All-Stars isn't very good either. Like, that game...
Evil King Terrence exists.
I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, who's next?
Yeah, because my story is actually relatively short, so I'll wait and go last, because I'm actually surprisingly new, probably compared to all of you, when it comes to fighting games. As far as taking them seriously, I guess. So I'll go last, because my story's, like, really short.
Go next.
Like, my story's incredibly short. Plus, I told most of it already in the beginning podcast because of the that arcade unit at the country club I used to go to as a kid.
Yeah. But I think Zero-san should probably go next.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, well, I know some people are probably gonna not consider it a fighting game, but I think my first was, like, Smash Brothers Brawl. And we all know how unbalanced that game is, but that was when I was just playing it casual at the time.
Y'all all talking about Brawl reminded me, I have never tried any of, like, the QOL mod, quality of life mods for that game.
I didn't either, but I did play...
Project M is really good, and there's also, like, some other mods that
was funny as hell.
Brawl Minus is goofy.
Brawl Minus is funny as hell. Like, I would totally love to play that someday for the channel.
Brawl Minus.
Brawl Minus is like a mod that
it is like a mod that just is like Rainbow Edition.
One that's like intended to balance the roster. Brawl Minus is basically like, think of it like Guilty Gear, but everyone sets a gold colors.
Jesus.
No, so it's basically Rainbow Edition.
Ganon has like a projectile, and his punch is a one-hit kill move that deals 666% damage.
So just instant die.
Yeah, everyone is just all gold characters. They're all gold characters. It's great. Look it up. It is hilarious.
But
anyway, go back to you, 010.
Yeah, back to you, Jalen.
Okay.
Now back to you in the studio with sports.
But yeah, I started with Brawl. I didn't really have that much knowledge of like actual fighting games at the time because I was like very much a novice at these games. I could barely play them correctly. But I say my first full-fledged taste was probably Street Fighter, like Street Fighter in general, because I played 2 early on. and then I played a little bit of 3, and then I played Alpha 3. Believe it or not, it was the portable version on the GBA. So we already know that.
I have that, and that port is insane.
I'm surprised that port even worked as well as it did, to be honest.
Yeah, uppers on the GBA is insane for what they were able to do.
Yeah, but I want to say that when I first started really getting into it was when I got Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4.
So yeah, very similar to me then.
Yeah, Super Street Fighter 4. Holy cow, that game made me get into fighting games. That was the game that got me like, yo, because that game has a lot of like aspects that I just love even to this day. Like the presentation, the music, the characters, and how they feel. That cheesy
intro of the original Street Fighter 4 though will always make me laugh.
The voice acting, the announcer was like, he's still one of my favorite in fighting games. He's like, I still
have no opinion on I still have no opinion on Abel. Wasn't he supposed to be the main character or something?
Abel was supposed to be like the main hero of that game, but like he was just bland as cardboard. So the other character that was like the other big one that they added, C Viper, ended up being like more popular because she not only had personality, she was fun to play.
Yeah, C Viper is pretty cool.
Viper. I hate her.
She's cool.
I hate her so fucking much. I hate her.
But she's totally fine.
I want to say like after
a Viper fan.
Okay, after
we don't see Hugo showing up in Marvel now, do we?
After Street Fighter 4, I want to say that I got hooked on like the Marvel style games, but well, actually that didn't come till later. I started taking an interest in like Blaze Blue and all that, but I felt like intimidated by the games, so I didn't start trying to play them till like right after my senior year of high school, and then I started getting prepared to go to college. And when I went to college, I kind of really wanted to try Blaze Blue, so I ended up picking up Central Fiction on PC. And then I met a couple of friends at college to start off with that really wanted to play it. Like the Jerple Flurple, who's also like...
He's in chat.
This. Yeah. But I know he remembers that. And that's when I really started to get into like fighting games, and I really enjoyed playing like Blaze Blue. Now, Guilty Gear, I didn't really get a taste for until like I want to say around the time I met Jesse, and I actually started getting into like Marvel style games and all that, and this is when I really started to have my love of fighting games start to bloom.
Oh yeah,
and that's when I started getting into.
At that point, I was just like looking for like people to play Guilty Gear with, because like I was in like new territory.
So you forced it on them.
Guilty Gear.
So you forced.
It was 3 years ago when I actually started getting into KOF too. Like, and I started playing KOF
at that point because like again I was like in foreign territory there, like with him.
Yeah, I started playing 98 to start off with, and then it blossoms from there. And
Wolfgang Krauser.
And basically, like I want to say, like the main one that helped like push fighting games into the big spotlight for me was like my college club, where we played like fighting games like every week. It's like every week we were playing something different.
Yeah.
And we would just alternate, and this led to a lot of me like developing skills like in playing fighting games a lot. And then also, you know, we have the unofficial sessions like every weekend or like every couple of days, like in a week we would do that. That was a lot of fun. I really do miss that. But yeah, all of that really helped like my love of fighting games. And now I kind of gotten burned out of fighting games because I played so many of them and I've never been a master at them. But I definitely want to get into Strive when it comes around and try my best at that. But I know it's kind of short. I just don't have a lot to really talk about when it comes to fighting games. Like, it's pretty straightforward for me.
So should I go next?
Yeah, because mine's extremely straightforward.
All right, Evil King Soda My Cereal shall go next. Okay, so most of this I talked about in the last podcast, where it's just like, well, Vega, where it's like I actually kind of grew up with Super Street Fighter 2, on the Wii's Virtual Console, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh
hey,
yeah,
this,
the one that I had online for like no reason. It's
I think, but like I was
yeah.
just
Remember
kinda
Street Fighter
like,
2 on the WiiWare? Like it was weird. It wasn't it like the Genesis version had the online, but not the Super Nintendo.
I'm not sure, but anyway, again, it's kind of like the whole thing, like kind of like the main thing to take from this. I was just like, oh hey, this Vega chick is pretty hot. Why does she not wear a shirt? But
Oh,
then
that.
well, later on, it's kind of like, oh okay, this Vega does not wear a shirt. Nice. But aside from that, well, as far as like me with fighting games, well, there's the like there's always this desire to play these games despite no one in my family or like friend circle really caring about these games aside from like Smash. So I mean, of course, that's when I bought, Super Street Fighter 2 on the Virtual Console.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got an Xbox, which, for the record, I bought because, well, I wanted to play Batman Arkham Asylum. I shit you not. But that's a story for another time. So I bought Street Fighter 4 on the Xbox, and I tried practicing, but I could not understand the combo system of that game. And y'all think I'm toxic now? Y'all have not seen me when I played Super Street Fighter 4. Okay, so...
So, were you
like,
LTG needing to get band level?
Kind of, but like, okay, like, I never rage quit, but like, well, everyone who beat me when I was like, like around like the shitty child age, I kind of, well, reported to Xbox, and well, my replays were always just like XDDD noob did not connect. But yeah, like, y'all think I'm toxic now, y'all have not seen anything. But then I got a Vita, and well, then there's my BlazBlue story, and again, well, I will be the #1 Noah Vermillion player because, well, I don't feel like getting horny on this podcast. So that's it. I played Guilty Gear, and X2 was my first Guilty Gear game. It was fine, but Accent Core is probably like the Guilty Gear I like the most. That and Revelator. But that's all I have to say, other than I will be the best in every game that I play. So, Crasher, so what's your story?
Well, like I mentioned, the main thing is it was mainly being introduced to like Samurai Showdown 2 on the Neo Geo arcade cabinet that Country Club had. And I still think Samurai Showdown is one of my favorite fighting game styles because I like how you have the heavy attacks that have a long wind up and a long reach, but if you're willing to risk it, then you better be willing to sacrifice.
Oh, come on. We all know the real reason you like Samurai Showdown.
No, seriously.
It was because of earthquakes and raps, right?
Actually, no, I actually didn't play him. I played Seeger. I played Seeger, and I forget what the name of the demon, the green demon was. I played both of them.
Oh, right, Shiranui. Yeah. He's actually canonically related to Might from KOF.
He's also got a family.
I actually fucking love that character. He's actually great.
But it started with that, like, literally, I didn't start getting into fighting games seriously until I got into Continuum Shift Extend. Had a couple of buddies that, well, my first ever experience with fighting games is that me and my older brother, we had a copy of Virtua Fighter 4 on the PS2 that we played a lot. We didn't quite understand what was going on, but we loved it. But going back to when it was more serious, I had a bunch of friends that played on Xbox, and one of them picked up BlazBlue Continuum Shift Extend when it was on sale, and I happened to just run across a used copy at a GameStop, and we decided to lab it. I originally tried Aracune. Probably a bad idea, because he's very complicated. But
Yes,
I stuck with him for a while and got fairly decent with him in that game. But I really didn't start getting into my own until I I started to mess around with Street Fighter 4. But I believe when I played it, it wasn't Super. It was I believe at that point it was on the arcade revision.
I actually never really played arcade until I got it years later with Ultra.
Oh wait, one of my first ever games was when I had my PS2. Like I said, me and my brother kind of split most of the main games. I had a copy of Alpha 3 that I put a lot of time into as a little kid. I really, and to this day, I'm still a huge fan of Birdie and Gin. And those are the two guys that I used to play a lot in that version. What? What happened?
Saying it's all coming up Birdie, and Fat Fuck Birdie is the best version of the character.
I use his throwback costume? No.
How dare you?
But, and then I also ended up picking it up years later on my Dreamcast because I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to sound like a DSP when I say I'm good at a Street Fighter game on the PS1. So I do have the Dreamcast version of Alpha 3. And we've played some good rounds of it on Earthworm's channel.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember through the collection. Say what you will about its online netcode. When it runs well. And Alpha 3 to me is one of the best feeling in the franchise. I know people are going to hate me for not blowing 3 for an hour.
Yeah.
To me, the Alpha series is the best feeling Street Fighter game.
And I'm going to be the one who complains to you because I fucking hate Alpha 3 so goddamn much.
I didn't say Alpha 3, I said the Alpha franchise.
Okay, but the Alpha franchise as well.
The Alpha franchise is the best that series has ever felt. Let me tell my story.
I will fucking fight you.
You're arguing with child me. Now I would probably say 4 is the best feeling Street Fighter. But
I will still fight you regardless.
I'm gonna kick your kid in the ribs.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
But
I'm gonna kick your ass.
No, it's like when he gets flustered. I'm gonna kick your ass. I love that episode when he gets really flustered.
I know that one. What? How the? I'm gonna.
All right, mister.
Okay, but anyway, and I don't know how, but whenever me and my brother got an Xbox for Christmas one year, we randomly got a copy of Neo Wave.
Alright, I'm back.
Still don't understand where Neo Wave really fits in, but I remember really enjoying it. So I played like a really big variety of fighting games growing up, like older fighting games that people enjoy. I even remember renting CVS2 on PS2 with my brother when we were like preteens. But the problem is, until I got into Continuum Shift Extend, most fighting games were just like any other game to me. You know, I'd play it for a couple of minutes, be like, cool, and then, set it down for a while. Never really dedicated the time into playing it until then. So I'm relatively recent when it comes into taking these seriously.
You know how I am? Again, it wasn't until
because you won't believe how I started playing Guilty Gear.
Go on about that.
I wanted to buy the PS3 version of Exit Core, but on the PlayStation Store, because I didn't read it carefully, I accidentally bought the version on Vita.
Oh shit!
And I was like, well, I'm stuck with this now.
Damn, that's heartbreaking.
I know, right? People buy it for visual novels. No, I play Katamari and Guilty Gear.
Yeah. So, speaking of Guilty Gear,
That beat up port, by the way.
should we get to our big topic for the week?
I'm not done yet, man.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
Speaking of Accent Core on the Vita, how is that port? Actually, I'm genuinely curious.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It was Guilty Gear on the Go before we got the Switch version, so I was genuinely curious.
No, there was the PSP games and Guilty Gear Advanced.
It wasn't Plus R.
And Dust Strikers.
That game doesn't happen. No, don't.
What? That game never happened.
Well, there was Guilty Gear Reload on the PSP, which is actually a pretty good port, and it came with a Judgment, which is actually a pretty good beat 'em up.
Yeah, you gotta love that it was published by Majesco. You know, the Cooking Mama people.
Majesco also published Guilty Gear Reload on the Xbox, also.
And they're responsible for Ninja Breadman and all of those clones.
No, Majesco
and Bomberman.
Yeah, Majesco published those.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I know they published Drake of the 99 Dragons.
So, I love that all of their other games are like shovelware, and then you look at Guilty Gear Reload, and you're like,
Developer, data design. Publisher was not Majesco.
Oh, that was Data Designs.
It was this place... No, that was their developer, data design. Publisher, Conspiracy Entertainment, North America.
Conspiracy, yeah, and the 6 different clones of the same Ninja Breadman. It is a conspiracy.
It's a total conspiracy.
But
Majesco has published it. I understand where the confusion comes from, because Majesco has published a few bad games, like they published Drake of the 99 Dragons.
Hey, at least they put it on Steam, and it's better, question mark?
Oh, no, it isn't. Trust me, I played it on Steam. It is not good.
See, people like to open games up on Steam all the time. Why not open that up and make it halfway decent? That would probably break the internet for a week. Somebody mod somebody mod Drake. Somebody mod that game.
Dragons, I would legitimately argue nowadays runs worse on PC, because now that game's starting to have compatibility issues.
Yeah, but somebody mod that game. Make it better. I know somebody can do it.
Make a good... I actually think the Xbox version probably plays better personally, but go on.
Okay. Anyway, but yeah, much like you guys, I grew up with an N64. I remember getting it for Christmas when I was very young. I told you all about getting Mario Party 3 on my birthday from my uncle. But that Christmas, I remember getting a copy of Smash 64. I had never heard of this before. Like the only Mario I knew, because I actually never had Mario 64, believe it or not. My only experience with Mario was knowing of the original games, because granted I was like four at this point. I knew about the original games because my dad had an NES, and I knew about Mario Kart 64. My main game I played was Banjo-Kazooie, but when I got 64, oh man, that Smash 64 is so much fun, dude, I swear.
Start the series. It's definitely fun to go back to for the nostalgia, for sure.
Yeah, and I've played every game in the franchise up to that point. Never played 3DS a whole lot. I actually, that entire generation of Smash I wasn't really too hot on.
Is not my favorite Smash, honestly, looking back personally. Like, I'd argue I had a lot more fun with Brawl looking back, just because Brawl had like way better single player content. Whereas like 4 was when I started getting into the series competitively, but it was like, looking back, Smash 4 just it feels so flawed competitively compared to Ultimate, which is like way better.
But
it also doesn't help that 4 introduced Bayonetta, who's like the most broken character in Smash next to Meta Knight.
Still can't believe that clip of the 2 Bayonettas just sitting there charging their shot for like a whole minute, and they're like, we can't do that.
Dude, I saw that match live, and I was just like, these fuckers need to be disqualified.
Smash 4 doesn't have K. Rool, so it's shit.
It doesn't. It's. Yeah, I agree. Smash 4 isn't that great, really, looking back. But it was pretty fun for the time I put into it. But yeah, go back in. I did have the 3DS version also, which I also didn't play a lot of 3DS either. Like, I played more of the Wii U one.
But my type of fighting game, I would definitely say, is something similar to like Virtua Fighter and DOA. Just something about how snappy the controls are. Also, my biggest controversial opinion, I will say, is that I'm not a big fan of Mortal Kombat.
That's fair. I'm not the biggest-
That's
I mean,
fair.
yeah.
That's very fair. I'm kind of in the same boat too, because I've never been a fan of the NRS style, like gameplay wise.
Like the problem with the NRS.
Actually, it's really fun, but I would not play those games.
Here's what I'd say
Yeah.
about my thing with the NRS gameplay. I don't like how I don't know what's the best way to describe it, but it feels automated is how I describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Crasher-san, your whole thing of where it's like, yeah, I prefer stuff like DOA. That totally makes sense because, like, I'm gonna be real, your DOA stuff actually gets me sweating.
I play a lot. Like I'm not kidding when I said me and my brother when we were kids we played a lot of Virtua Fighter 4.
Like I think like one thing I like about the Virtual Fighter.
Oh, and I
DOA
had a
series is,
cousin
like, how
that was really big into. I had a cousin also that was a bit that had VF2 on the Genesis. Like he had the 32X.
Genesis version. That's actually kind of a decent backport. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. But that's how I knew of the series. But then it was me and him asking about it that we ended up getting it. I think it was for my brother's birthday, but it was more of a thing for both of us because we were both asking about it. But understandably, with the PS2 generation, it was, the 32X was like, it's not going to happen. That has been long gone. But yeah. I play I prefer those kind of fighters. Probably the reason, but not the biggest into Tekken though. I am trying to learn.
It's just
When I finally learn the Korean backdash, I will be into Tekken.
all I want to say is like someone that used to be a competitive Tekken player, like getting into Tekken competitively, just you have to dedicate your time only to Tekken. Whereas like when it comes to other 3D fighters like Virtual Fighter and DOA, I'd say they lean more on the simple but awesome control. Where it's like the simplicity of Virtual Fighter is like all you have is punch, kick, block, but the depth comes from like how much you can utilize just those 3 buttons essentially.
And plus, I can't wait for this Ultimate Showdown game. So I can play
I'm
my
ready for Virtua Fighter esports totally.
I can play Hellblaze again.
We can play it
I
again
want to play Eileen.
without having to do remote play on Judgment.
Yeah, well, I mean, Judgment's a great game anyway. What are you talking about?
I mean, Judgment is good, but it's like we can play Virtua Fighter just easily, like just on its own.
Mm-hmm. Especially if
So,
that,
and
especially if that,
rollback with Judgment with Virtua Fighter also, which would be cool.
especially if that rumor that that was on Event Hubs has any validity, that it might be next month's free game. That would be insane.
I mean, knowing Sega rumors, I wouldn't probably be surprised if it becomes free because like some Sega rumors have like a tendency to be true.
Yeah, but this
it's
is
not
like
Capcom
super.
rumors or-
But this is like super sudden too, because they're like
Oh,
it's gonna
yeah.
be next month's game, and I'm like, if that is true, I am. Ooh,
Sega's
that's
not
all
like
I'm gonna
Capcom
play for
rumors
about
or
a month.
Capcom- where Sega rumors are like probably true, whereas Capcom rumors are like, oh yeah, this is definitely mostly true, except for maybe that 1% chance.
I probably might have to put my Ratchet and Clank playthrough on hold if that happens.
Yeah,
because I'm
good
good.
with my Eileen.
Because I'm just gonna be labbing nothing but that.
Yeah, and I'll be like, hey, come on, Eileen. Right? I'm right,
Come
boy.
on.
But yeah, as far as like normal though, oh right, I don't even remember how I even got into Under Night. I believe it was just I happened to be in a GameStop at the time, and thought it looked cool. God, that series is something else.
Oh, I discovered I was at a tournament and I just watched 2 people play it. I'm like, this looks kind of cool. And I just looked.
hunger.
I'm like, yeah, this is good.
I am not a fan
you
of.
good there?
I'm not a fan of Merkava's English voice actor.
I like Merkava's English voice. I think it's pretty good.
I am not a fan.
It's been
Like,
this.
I mean, you're talking to Mr. Mika over here, so I guess whatever.
You're also talking to the person that's put over like
People
combined
that sit
total of
for
like 200
2
hours.
Yes, and you're talking to the guy who mostly beats you at the game.
No, you don't.
Wait, so we do
Tomorrow,
this.
you want motherfuckers? Tomorrow, let's have a fucking like session of first to 20.
Let's have our Suhao mirrors now.
Yes.
But anyway.
Mika needs Taco Bell money.
Are we ready to do our main topic, guys?
Yes, please. Oh God, yes. Oh, I can't wait.
Like my God. He came.
Oh yeah.
Came at the mention of
I think y'all should kind of go first on this because again,
Dude, you're getting a little bit too excited about this. We can just discuss this civilly.
Because we mentioned Sue
my
Howell. We
God.
mentioned Sue Howell. Sue Howell is what gets him excited for everything.
yeah. Honestly, it's that, and honestly, this is going to be
Sue Howell's
interesting
announcer
topic.
strike and world peace is finally achieved.
Yes.
All the nukes are denuclearized.
Yes.
But anyway,
Okay, so Strive. Let's talk about Strive.
okay.
Oh no.
Who wants to go first? You want to go first, Roger?
Not me. I have to go last.
Well, Jesse, you're the one with the most experience out of all of us.
Yeah, you actually played the game. I can't really say.
So basically, I need to pull up I need to go to my YouTube channel real quick because I need to use the.
Yeah, because you got into the private beta.
The closed beta test, but I don't remember the exact date it was on. So I need. Let me see if I can. Let me go to my YouTube real quick because I feel like I can use my uploads to remember when it was. But it was like I do want to say it was like around late April. I want to say like that's what I just at least remember. Oh, I see another thing. I think.
Just I should probably go last because
Anyway,
I think I'll be.
Give me a second. This will take a little bit, but this shouldn't take too long. Okay,
Yeah.
so it was shortly after my top 10 cheapest fighting game bosses. It was around April 17th. April 17th. So essentially, I was able to get into the closed beta test, the CBT, if you will.
What an awkward acronym.
Oh, totally. But anyway,
The CBT.
the CBT, if you're so inclined. But anyway, I was able to play the closed beta test, and initially, I felt very mixed on the game. It didn't help that it didn't have the rollback either, so I also had to play it with delay-based netcode too, and it was just simply like the matches barely functioned at all. And when they did, it was like I had to go, I think, about an hour without getting a single fight in that game.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, if you watch my I can link you my old video real quick. If you were to watch it, you will see like actual like obvious jump cuts, and they lasted roughly an hour. But anyway, I remember just feeling very mixed at the whole thing. It felt like it didn't feel bad, but it felt puzzling initially. Like it was like, okay, this is an interesting thing, but the problem was I didn't mind the new simpler mechanics because it's like, hey, Guilty Gear is a little tricky for certain people that play other fighting games. So it was I feel like this could be a good gateway game to Guilty Gear. But one thing I had a major complaint of was the damage. The damage was ridiculous in the closed beta test. In fact, let me go pull up a match real quick. So let me watch one of my old matches.
Is like the damage for a super like about 40% damage?
Let me look. I'm watching all my old footage. So basically, so basically, the chip was ridiculous with Fafnir and stuff. Grabs dealt like. Oh wow, that was a connection loss match. So that guy rage quit.
Oh right, the soul 40% combos from a
hang on. I got the video. So I got a video pulled up. So I got a match pulled up that I can utilize reliably.
Okay.
So yeah, basically, also in the original, I would also like to point out, I've seen people talk about the UI. I do want to say, not as good the UI could be, it was way worse in the original closed beta test, where the portrait was also your burst meter, and it would like follow the health bar, which made it look really distracting.
I'll get into like my things about
basically,
that when I
it
talk
was kind of
about
like initially the damage was ridiculous. Like counters were essentially Sam show damage. I want to say.
Ah yes.
Like this game essentially tried to use some slight combos with Sam show damage, and the game also had a lot of heavy tendency to have meaty counters, where basically a meaty counter was represented by the large word counter appearing on the screen, emphasize a meaty attack. And also looking at this footage, man, I just forgot how bad the delay-based netcode of the closed beta test was. And supers, well, dealt a lot of damage, but not exactly 40% unless I could combo fully into it, which I did there, and I KO'd that guy. Basically, the damage in this original beta was really just ridiculous. It was just absurd in a lot of areas. Like, counters were crazy, and it was just simply, again, there was Sam show damage in a Guilty Gear game. And like, well, I didn't mind the new Gatling system because I felt like, hey, it's a little simplified, but it still works. The Sam show damage is what kind of made it feel like a turnoff. Out of the fact that the original lobbies in that game were just god awful.
Yes, they fucking were. Yes.
Like, the original lobby system barely worked at all. Like, at all in the original beta. Like, they were just horrendous in the closed beta.
Absolutely.
It looked like an April Fool's joke, and I'm just like, you can hear my audible frustration in the video being like, come on, I want to fight already. But,
exactly.
But, February 20th comes the open beta test, which, after a few initial days...
The first one, but when I got snowed in.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. So basically, it took a little bit to log in because everyone wanted to play the open beta, but once I got in, I'm starting to see genuine improvements. For one, the lobby system, while not as good as it clearly could be, it felt like it made a lot more sense in this one. Like, it felt more functional. I was starting to actually get fights. And not only that, the rollback was in this, so I could also actually play the matches without, having constant delays. Which, and like, let me get to the actual fight. Let me watch the fight real quick. And here in the actual fight, the burst actually is put right near the timer, which is a good way to see, hey, here's how much bursts I have. And not only that, the combo damage is actually really fixed to where it deals decent damage, but it doesn't deal Sam show damage. Except for like when you're doing big combos, which, hey, that's if you do big combos you know how to set up. So I'm personally fine with that, and it has rollback netcode. But not only that, it's probably the smoothest rollback I've played in a fighting game. And I played a lot of fighting games with net rollback, including the PC port of Accident Core, which that has also really good rollback. I played Skullgirls, which has decent rollback, but I've noticed like some internet connections, like if you're like under really horrible internet, you will start to see some lag here and there. Or games like MK11, where MK11 has good enough rollback, but it still like has some flaws. Or the SNK rollback, where sometimes it's not exactly perfect. Whereas here, I just felt like I didn't notice an exact... Like, I didn't notice anything that felt off. It just felt like as if I was playing with someone on the couch.
Yeah.
And not only that, it also allowed me to play more characters, so I was able to experiment with other characters I happen to like Axel, and you could also pick the song, because I think also one thing I want to say is a problem with the closed beta test. It randomized the songs, but the problem is it always felt like it was playing Society, which is Potemkin's theme.
They knew what they were doing.
We live in a society!
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, but it's like, the problem is, it's like, okay, I like Society, it's a good song, but I don't want to hear it for every match. Like, I want to hear...
Not gonna lie,
like,
this isn't...
I want to hear Fight Like a Tiger.
Like, I'm gonna be real, like, this isn't like my, topic on the game is music about the game, and I'm gonna be real, like, the two songs that I actually like from the game are Society and Color.
It's great, but anyway, it's like, I just want to hear a good variety. I just don't want to hear just Society all the time.
I mean, I agree, yeah, totally.
Like, that's the kind of thing. It's like, I always like to have, I always set my Guilty Gear music when I play online to random, explicitly to prevent the same song from playing over and over.
I mean, to be fair, you're also talking to Mr. I will put Must Die in every fucking BlazBlue match I play. So...
And then came the most recent open beta test, which I also did play, and they fixed the lobby system dramatically to where it's actually like, okay, here's little arcade machines you can fight at, which honestly should have been there from the start, but hey, at least they added it before the official release. They had the arcade machines, and it's like a little bit more obvious, okay, here's how you can fight. Pretty much they did a lot more to it, and they added all the characters. I like how most of them play. I think the only one I didn't play was Eno, and that's just because I'm just not good with Eno. So I just simply didn't bother trying. I also don't think I played Zato, but that's just because I'm not good with puppet characters.
I mean, I'm gonna be real, like, Zato seems
hey, EC Platinum and River Slinky, glad to see y'all stop by.
But, like, I'm not trying to be, like, again, like, I'll get into my shitting on the game later on, but, like, this is just me kind of being, like, kind of, like, objective, where it's like, I don't think Zato is that complicated in this game compared to, like...
I'm not good at puppets in general, that's just why I didn't play them.
I mean, that's understandable. Don't
Like,
get me
it's
wrong.
more
I'm
like,
just
it's
saying.
not that Zato's complicated, period. It's just more, I'm just genuinely really bad with puppet characters.
I mean, me too. Don't get me wrong.
I'm
It's
scared.
just more
I'm
like,
scared of
just like
people
a-
that can
it's more-
confidently
I
play
didn't want to
Carl.
risk playing a puppet and just
Me
getting
too.
because I'm just horrible with puppets.
If the guy says that he can confidently play Carl, run.
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah,
friend
did you
who
hear?
fucking
Did you
can
hear
play
that?
Chaos.
Or Zato back away slowly,
Anyone
then
that
run
says
away.
they know how to play Devo the Cursed and JoJo Heritage for the Future, run away. Just run
Yes,
away.
I agree. And
Do
like,
not
I actually
talk-
have a friend who actually can play fucking Chaos and Undernight, and well, he's fucking scary.
The second someone says,
with
I
it.
know how to play Android 18 and Fighters, run.
Yes, exactly.
Wait, is Android 18 a puppet?
Yeah, she's a puppet because 17's the puppet.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be real. Like this is.
Though
kinda
she's
like
a very
one of the
simple
things-
puppet, but she's a puppet nonetheless.
Yeah, like I'm not a fan of
Someone
characters
says they know how to
who,
play
like,
Ice
have to-
Climbers, run away.
who have to rely on like another character to fight, but that's a discussion for another time.
Like puppets are a decent trope when because it's like well, in certain games they have a good they're actually pretty well balanced by the fact that they are the hardest characters to play, but if you know how to play them, you get good combo.
I think puppets.
Like I think Zato,
are,
Zato's one of my favorite examples of a puppet done right because most of the games, yeah, he's really good, but you have to know how to play Zato to get those results. You can't just be some schmuck and pick him up and play.
No, of course
Yeah,
not.
and I think puppets are the exception to that whole thing I just said. I think I personally prefer Carl because like he's got straight up the worst HP in the entire like series.
It's like most
he's
of them
got
have, like
less.
most of the time, like when they're the best characters in the game, they have a very obvious weakness or two, which
Yeah,
means
yeah,
you have
like-
to know how to work with that weakness to make them good, which I think is personally fine.
Yeah, like again, I'm not gonna fuck with no fucking Carl Clover players because like the kids
Means they know
may
what they're
have like
doing.
garbage HP, but like he's fucking terrifying when someone knows what they're doing.
Oh yeah, totally. Like if someone knows what they're doing with a puppet, they are one of the scariest bastards out there. Totally.
Yeah,
Like any good Rosalina and Luma player, run.
yeah, exactly. Especially because like
I
you
do
know,
not.
King
I do
K.
not
Rool
respect those
me.
players. I do not.
I mean, I don't
Yeah,
respect
I don't
anyone
even
who
think
doesn't
she's
play
that
K.
She was
Rool.
never
So
really
my
that
respect
dominant in
means
play
nothing.
though. Like she was really good in 4, but you had to be like in that provided you know how to play her.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like my respect means nothing because I only respect people who play K. Rool. So whatever.
I only respect people that play Gyata. Dude,
I agree. Yes.
when will Clay Fighter get a puppet character?
Right?
That'd be a little bit too on the
Anyway,
nose.
But basically, I felt like Final Thoughts of Strive was at the end of the day, it had a bumpy road, but once the game's near its completion, I personally felt like
If
hey, this is
it,
gonna be a pretty fun game. It's not gonna be like I will say I will still prefer Accent Core at the end of the day, but that's just because Accent Core. It's kind of like I'm gonna say like how I feel about Street Fighter. Street Fighter, my favorite entry in the series is Third Strike. But Street Fighter 4 and 5, if you hand me those games, I'll still play them. They're good games. They're
am I the
really
only
good
person
games.
who likes Alpha?
I like Alpha too.
Yes.
I like Alpha too.
I'm my favorite. I'm gonna be like the standard Street Fighter player and say Third Strike's the best in the series because a lot of Street Fighter fans like always like to say
The
Third
standard
Strike's
Street Fighter player, so you only play 2.
And because Street Fighter 3 has the best character ever, 12.
Koryu is the best character ever. You can literally play as everybody.
True.
Wait till 13 comes out.
Koryu is the
13.
best.
13.
I will end your 13-year career.
You will
With 12.
die.
13 will be the best Street Fighter character ever. You know it.
Will.
Okay, so Yokai, do you have anything to say about Strive's beta?
I'm almost finished about Strive, but anyway, yeah, pretty much Strive's beta was really good, really good. Like, I really liked how it played. It's not gonna probably be as good as Accent Core, but it's still gonna be a fun 8 out of 10 game, I basically feel. Like, a really fun game, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing it, and I do hope to take it competitively and go to majors.
Like that's my thought about it. Like, yeah, I can definitely see where it's rough around the edges, but it definitely seems like they are taking this stuff like very to heart with like the feedback. Because I mean they could have just barely touched it up from the closed beta, but there's definitely been a lot of changes that they've taken note of.
I totally can say that for sure as someone that's played all the betas. The improvement with like the first open beta test and the CBT, night and day.
And the CBT.
And day.
Sorry, it's the phrasing CBT.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna keep calling it CBT because it's just the most unfortunate acronym ever.
Oh, you mean when you guys fight my Leo?
Nah, my Leo, my soul bad guy will destroy your Leo.
I won.
I mean, my Potemkin.
Wait till I learn Leo. It'll be just caveman versus caveman.
But you play
Son.
Soul. That's just two
Okay,
gorillas.
Kids. I'm just gonna be real. That my Potemkin and Accent Core will probably destroy both of you.
My Potemkin will destroy your Potemkin.
Oh, how adorable!
I know how to play Potemkin in that too.
Ooh. Well, I guess that's your foreshadowing for Wednesday, folks.
Oh, wait till
Ooh.
you see my Axel.
Y'all get to see my Bridget vibing on your corpses.
Anyway,
Boom, boom, boom,
uh,
boom.
Roger, you ready?
Oh no,
go ahead.
I pretty much agree with everything Jesse just said because it's
Just wanted
like,
to add anything to that.
yeah, and plus
Okay.
I only ever played the first beta, but after seeing the footage, I can see that it's on a steady road to improvement. It's not going to be the top tier game that they're advertising it as. No, with that, especially since they gave us freaking rollback and accent core. But and that addition on Switch that gives us the Reload soundtrack.
Well, the Korean soundtrack. I wish they would do that on PC, honestly, because I do like some Korean soundtracks, like some of the Korean tracks, slightly better than the ones we have in the main game.
Oh yeah, where RoboKai actually has a theme.
Well, it's still Kai's theme from the
Yeah,
the
but
Korean version,
but would
it's
you?
slightly distorted, but it sounds like it sounds more robotic instead of just being randomly pitched up and down.
Okay, so Zero, do you have anything to say about this?
About Strive, I couldn't even play it.
Do you have any
Okay.
thoughts on what you've seen?
I think it looks really good so far. I had my doubts, but I think they're slowly being alleviated. I can't wait to actually play Realm. I really want to play her because I
Oh
actually
yeah,
played
also
her
we
as
want to
well.
add that they are considering crossplay, so we could all. So it's like that's
Yeah,
also,
if I get on PC, there's a chance I can play with
They're
them.
they're not considering it. They're already working on it.
Okay.
Literally.
Because I think the
that's
only
good.
major fighting game that's not Battle for the Grid, because I wouldn't call that major really. That's like
How
like,
dare
like
you?
major, I like the established franchises.
Yeah, one of the main
okay,
established.
Street Fighter or something
Well,
that. I
like,
think
here,
the
like,
only-
anybody else find it weird that Street Fighter V didn't have it, even though it only has 2 platforms to play on?
like, it
Well,
totally has
SF5 had a shit launch, so
crossplay.
but-
Street Fighter had crossplay at launch.
It did? Oh yeah, it does.
yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's just Street Fighter
But
5. But that's because like Street Fighter 5 uses its own proprietary servers. We use like we use the Capcom Fighter Network for that game.
yeah.
So you like make your own like Street Fighter 5 name. So it's like setting up friends to play with that is a little bit of a hassle, but once you got that down, oh, it's pretty fun to play sometimes. But anyway,
Yeah. So, can I finally talk about my thoughts on Strive?
I guess. I mean, I don't see why you're acting like you got such a big boner.
To say before he goes in.
Like you're sitting there
Okay.
like the you're just sitting here like the freaking Shadows of the Damned turret sections. Taste my big boner.
Speak
Yeah,
now,
like, I'm-
hold your peace. Any
Like I
objection?
said, I'm Zoomer Pat, of course.
No,
so I
we're
have
still
a
going to
plan
discuss
about
this a
it.
little
You can
bit.
go now. You have.
Okay.
You are fully authorized. Oh, nice overcharge, by the way.
Stop pointing that out.
That's not your overcharge. That was his.
Okay, so
And now I move
I
it
can
down.
finally talk about
Second turn,
Strive.
okay?
Okay, I'm finally going to talk about Strive.
Oh,
and
hold
my
on a
thoughts
second. Got to
on it.
adjust the menacing. There we go.
Yep, go ahead. Yeah, put me on fucking menacing. Like this, this is gonna be pretty fucking menacing. Okay, so I played the first beta of Strive, and I'm going to give this compliment to the game. I think that it was really cool that they actually, gave like a free beta out for people. That was a cool decision. Like I think that's really good.
More fighting games need to do that, totally.
I agree. With that said, that's probably going to be the last nice thing that I say about this game. I played that beta, and well, I really did not like it. Okay, I'm gonna be real here. and it's just like I really don't understand a lot of the decisions that they made here, where it's like it seems like they're trying to make it like more casual friendly, which I guess is fine, but it's like, but they changed the Gatlings where it's like most of them are like you can only really do like punches and kicks and they'll connect, where it's like, and basically every other game you can basically do like an ABC combo and that will, like, at the very least, you know, connect. But like I mean, like, it was never like a definitive like strategy. Like you could never like win a tournament with just ABC combos. But it's like I don't know why they took that out. Where it's like the Gatlings are just so weirdly different. But like aside from that, I really feel like this is a case where Team Red, you know, like the guys behind like you know, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus and all that stuff. I really feel like they're just kind of like going more style over substance with a lot of this. Where, I mean, I'm a big stan of Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, for the record, and I thought that.
And I actually played a mobile game, no.
And I played a bit, but like I'm not nearly as much of a stan as Zero here. I mean, I ship Jita and Lyria, for the record, but that's beside the point. But
I'm literally one of those nerds that goes actually when it comes to this series, so it's like
yeah, yeah. But like I played it and it was like it was, I mean, playable, but it's like I was just like, for one, I really was not big on the roster they chose, but again, I'm a Viking fan, so who cares, right? But
bacon.
I mean, yeah, but like, I mean, memes aside, I was just kind of like, aside from Potemkin, there's really no one who I would want to play. But again, I do play Potemkin, but I played him, and for the record, like, I do have complaints about how Strive kind of like takes moves from characters and just kind of replaces them with shittier versions, but Potemkin is not a case of that. Potemkin actually got a pretty decent move to replace Trishula from Exard, which, I'm going to be real, no one fucking used Trishula except for like combo filler. So that made a lot of sense. But everything else, I'm just like, no, God, this feels bad. And like, yeah, like Potemkin has a good new move, which is like a frame trap, but I could just play Potemkin in games that I actually like how it feels. So I just like, why would I play this? And like the only real thing is that like the rollback, which is like, I mean, yes, please put fucking rollback in fucking every fighting game. Like, this is not like all my complaints about Strive. This is not about the rollback. Please fucking put rollback in every fighting game. But it's just like, if the rollback is all I really have to attract me to this game, but then you have like shit like the air dashes feeling like they're like in lag already, then what's the point?
I will say this is kind of also like another reason why I don't play a Fantasy Strike. It's like, yeah, the rollback's kind of enticing, but the game just isn't good, really.
I mean, like, I'm going to be real. Strive is better than Fantasy Strike.
Oh yeah, totally. Like, I will say, like,
Strive's actually a good game, though. No cap.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll disagree there, but I will say Strive is better than Fantasy Strike.
Like, the problem with Fantasy Strike is, like, there is, like, no combo routes in that game at all.
Oh, yeah. But again,
But anyway, you can continue. I just wanted to just chip in there because it's like it reminded me of another topic that we could discuss another time.
yeah, and I do agree there. And again, you're talking to someone who does not like strive for the record. Like, I'm not going to be nice here. Where I played it and I was like, really, when I played it, I was like, I could be playing like Accent Core, and I was just like, I think I would rather learn Accent Core than play this game because, like, well, I don't care for the roster aside for my main Potemkin, and then I think about like like kind of how like these Team Red games like give like these season passes, so like
that only started to happen recently though with Grand Blue and Strive though.
yeah, and again, that's kind of why I'm bringing it up. But it's like, then I think about like characters that I played from these previous games, like Bridget and Biken, and I was like, I don't think I want to see how they would play in this style because I when I played the game, I was just kind of like, yeah, like this just feels wrong.
It's
like,
why I stress that you should have tried the other betas because they are showing improvement by taking
Yeah,
a lot
from
of the
what I've
criticisms.
Yeah, he didn't play beta 3, but
The
Okay.
recent beta
Like a
looked
little
like
bit of
it
beta
did a
too, I'm not
lot
sure
of
how
good for the
much.
game.
okay, like I hear that like there is some good that happened with the
Yeah,
new beta,
and they're heavily
but-
begging people to give them constant feedback if they can.
Okay, but also everything I've seen about this new beta, I've seen where it's like there's a lot of issues with how it does things. Like the they messed with the air dashes again, but this time they made it so where it's like back air dashing basically takes you nowhere. And it's
didn't
like
really have that as an issue when I played the game.
like I mean again I'm not gonna backseat game you or anything on this, but like a lot of people were complaining about that basically like the back air dash basically did nothing. And in the first beta I already had issues with how the forward air dash was done because, well, I mean, Guilty Gear is meant to be like a big fast-paced game where offense is the key, right? Like Guilty Gear is meant to be like mainly offensive game, right?
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah. So like it really confused me when it was just like, why did they make the forward air dashes like so easy to see coming? Because like there's a 7-frame delay or in every single air dash, like forward air dash and all that. And it's like, do you want this game to be like more offensive, or do you want it to be like where kind of like Street Fighter, where it's like the air is not a safe place to be? Because with these air dashes, it really feels like the game is trying to be like, yeah, you don't want to be in the air because people can easily react to it and punish you. But this is Guilty Gear, and it's just like, that's kind of like the mobility is kind of meant to be like a big part of the game, right?
I mean, like most of the and like
Arcs,
actually, like, mobility is a huge part of the meta for sure.
Yeah, but if you're talking about the speed, the speed is more Blaze Blue's thing. Guilty Gear is a little bit more chunky.
I mean, like, I kind of want to go back.
Guilty Gear's always had speed as a big identity from it since like the beginning.
Like,
But no,
I
I'm
kinda
talking
wanna go
about
back
how the
to
characters
this.
flow. I'm talking about more how the characters flow. Speed was definitely more Blaze Blue's strong suit, where Guilty Gear was more a little heavy.
Okay, like, I kind of disagree with that, but like,
Disagree with that a lot. Like, Guilty Gear's mostly been like combos with some decent speed, whereas I
Like-
would say Blaze Blue's a little bit more faster paced. But Blaze Blue's more like Blaze Blue's like weird thing is more like oh, here's the drive button. Let's see what this character can do. That would make them mechanically unusual in any other game.
I kind of agree with you there too, where it's like, I really think the drive button kind of like, you know, personalizes Blaze Blue, but like going back to Strive and how it kind of does game speed, because I do have more to say about that, where like every other game, like I played I played a fair bit of Revelator. I'm a decent Biken and Potemkin main in that, and well, Axicor obviously I'm not that great at it, but I am learning it because, well, I mean, Bridget is based as well as a Biken, but the way they do the game speed in Strive just feels off, because like instead of like making like, you know, like the mobility fast, it seems like they try to replicate that by making the damage like really big. And I mean, like, y'all played the last beta, right?
Yeah.
I played all 3 betas.
Okay, so even in like the most recent beta, the like the damage for Wake Up Supers was still pretty big, right?
Well, yeah, but you can see them, but they're like very telegraphed now, where like it's better to combo into them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like also it's like everything I've seen, like these Wake Up Supers still do like about 40% damage, like, you know, raw, and it's just like,
I mean, yeah, but that's like, the thing with that is like it's a raw super. It's kind of like, that's something you should kind of see coming. So it's like, if you see, like, it's very easy for like certain players to go, I'm gonna throw out a raw super as a bad habit, and it's like, oh, I gotta block that.
yeah, but like
I'm generally the opinion of like a lot of fighting games. If you get hit by a raw super that's like super telegraphed,
You deserve the damage.
Damage, really.
I mean, yes, but at the same time, I do think like there is like with some characters, they don't really have wake up options, so they kind of have to throw out a raw super sometimes. But if like the raw super does like almost have a health bar, that's fucking ridiculous.
I didn't really have a health bar anymore. It's just more like, I would say like about a 6 at worst now.
Yeah, it's
Like,
it's definitely very close to like Rev.
Now.
I mean, like again, like this is kind of like.
I mean, not
am
only that, like,
kinda
you're also gonna have to
going-
remember, like, a mechanic that isn't that discussed, but it is there in Guilty Gear is also the guts mechanic.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where how
Yeah,
guts
yeah.
work. I think this is the first time I actually ever have to discuss the guts mechanic, but basically, guts basically works like this. When your health bar looks like it's about 1/4, it's actually, like, slightly bigger than that.
Yeah, you're in kind of a desperation state.
Where
Like,
you actually,
that's-
where you essentially gain a defense buff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And depending on the character, they will have more hit points than they appear, actually.
Yeah, that's actually kind of like most fighting games, actually, where it's like,
Well, no,
When you're
that's
in the-
Guilty Gear explicitly.
okay, but like the thing is, like most fighting games, when you're in the red, it's more than it appears.
Not in Street
Yeah.
Fighter.
Guilty Gear's the one that only really does that. Like, most of them though, like Tekken has the rage mode, but it's more like you start dealing more damage.
Okay, like I mean,
But like,
I'm
Guilty
not
Gear, it's
gonna,
like when you are like explicitly in the 1/3, when you're like at the 1/4 range, you actually only like you have more health than you actually really appear. Like attacks, which explains why certain attacks that dealt a lot of damage initially, when you're like getting near the end of their life bar, it's like, wait, why didn't that kill? Well, that's because the gut system took effect. Though certain characters
Okay.
have different varying guts, though.
Okay, but like, I'm gonna take your word for this because, like, well, I mean, I'm not gonna like Google this shit for like, you know, the thing I'm trying to do, but like, I believe you, but also like, when I played, you know, Strive, it's just like, it kind of feels like they're trying to be like, you know, like Street Fighter, but also trying to be like Guilty Gear, where it's like it just feels confused when I played it. Like, it just feels like a very confused game. Like, they want to have the ground game of Street Fighter, but I mean, you still have to have the air dashes, otherwise it's not guiltier. But they kind of fuck the air dashes, so what's the point?
Okay, so basically, here's how the guts works. Guts X is the type of damage scaling that gets more intense the lower a character's life. For example, an attack that would do 100 damage to Soul at full life would only do 40 damage when he's at 10% life. And characters basically, it's basically like a character like Soul would gain like pretty much like the damage would decrease, like would massively decrease with each hit, which would allow a character like Potemkin to seem like he has a billion hit points before he dies.
Yeah. But Melty Blood kind of does a similar thing where it's like certain characters will have like different like defense thresholds depending on like how damaged they are. Like Riasbiff, my main, and again I am pissed that she and Scion are not going to be in the new Melty Blood, but that's a topic for another time. Like she takes like the least amount of damage when she's about in the middle of her health bar, but then it's like, you know, like when she's like at the beginning or like the end, she takes like kind of normal damage. But like it's kind of like that from what I'm gathering. But going back to Strive, like this really isn't a case where it's like me bitching about the game. It's kind of like just like, I'm gonna be real, I don't understand how this works, because like I've tried doing like the dust mechanic in like training mode, but like for some reason it didn't work for me. Does like the dust and Strive work differently? Because like I tried like holding up after I did the dust move, but it just did nothing.
No, the combos are still there after doing a dust.
Okay, but it's like
I actually never had it happen because I didn't actually land a clean dust to try it. So
I did against Cedric in the few matches we did.
Okay.
And,
I don't think I
they're
ever
still
landed
there.
a dust uppercut because I never really go for the dust uppercut. I usually use my dust button as more of a.
I go for
I
the
use it as a
sweep
combo
normally.
ender where I usually do go for the sweep.
I mean, yeah, but like, I mean, the like normal dust is still obviously something you need to be able to do, but like when I tried doing it, it was just like Potemkin would just like kind of like punch them, but like I couldn't really activate the dust stick.
I mean, when like you said, you never played the recent betas, did you?
No, but again, like I had people do it against me in the beta that I did play, but it was like for some reason I couldn't really do like the dust thing, and I did the tutorial, but it's like they never really explained how to do it in this game.
I really don't know what to tell you then.
Okay, but like, yeah, that's also that's honestly like one of the smaller gripes I have about the game, because well, I do have bigger gripes about it, but I think my big one that that kind of like encapsulates my problems with the game is the wall break.
Oh, those are much faster now.
Okay, that's not my problem with it though. Okay, so out of the two mechanics that, you know, like I don't like from like these recent Guilty games, I would definitely pick the wall break over the danger time, but that doesn't mean that I like either of these mechanics, because the wall break mechanic just feels like it's limiting the player, where it's like, yeah, you could do this wall combo, but hey, why don't you take this free damage when they're in this wall break state? But if you press any other button when they're in this wall break state, they're gonna be out of the corner. But hey, at least you get some meter, which I wouldn't have too much of a problem with. I mean, I don't like it, but the fact that basically every super in the game, if they're done in the wall, basically basically triggers this wall break state.
Mm-hmm.
That shit really does not.
Oh,
gel
and
with me, 'cause it's like,
they don't. I can confirm in the new beta at least because I comboed Cedric into the wall with Leo's multi-strike super, his one where he's facing forward, and it didn't break the wall.
A lot of supers that did not break the wall at all recently.
Yep.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it looks like now
are toned down. In fact, I even had one where I was like comboing some dude constantly in the wall. Like I didn't even get a near wall break. I actually KO'd him before the wall even broke at all.
Yeah,
in fact, most wall breaks I got recently were generally for KOs.
It looks it looks like most of the time now they're reserved for maybe hitting them with a heavy.
Yeah, it's more like if you really get a nasty combo. Oh yeah, a wall break. But even then, it's like most of the time they're rare.
Yeah, it's now not like every time.
It feels more like Injustice wall breaks, where it's like Injustice, you have to actually manually know how to trigger the wall break.
And it seems like a way to style on your opponent because they break instantly if your opponent KOs against it.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, I mean, I genuinely kind of have a problem with the whole idea of the wall break in general because, like,
The wall.
Yeah, but like, okay, but like, I'm going. Like, here's my thought process. Okay, like here's kind of why I'm just like, I don't think the wall breaks should be in the game. Okay, so you get someone into like the wall, like you're doing corner combos, and all that shit, but suddenly it feels like the game is just like, no, you can't do this anymore. You have to either drop the combo or just give up your advantage. And it's just like, why should I give up my advantage? I'm doing good, right? But like from what you're describing, if I'm to believe this, that like the wall combos aren't as like stupid as they originally were, which it's better, but it's also kind of like, well, I don't want a wall break because no one except for maybe Axel really benefits from having the character out of the corner.
What? Dude, Leo can straight up just dribble you back into the corner again.
Okay, but like the whole thing like beforehand was kind of like where like the whole thing was like let me how do I describe this? The whole like reward for breaking the wall is more super, but the problem is if you already have the opponent in the corner, odds are you already have meter to do a super. But it's like I really don't see the benefit of breaking the wall to put the opponent back in neutral where they can escape your pressure. That's kind of like the position where I'm in. Where it's like, I don't really see a benefit to letting the opponent out of the corner.
Well, it's to give them the chance to escape. Maybe if they don't have a burst or something, like because it adds a little bit more strategy, and it definitely emphasizes that you need to lab your combos more because it basically gives them the opportunity to say they don't have a burst to still get out of your combo if you happen to screw up. So I think it's a good way to tell the player that, okay, you dropped it, because I actually had a Leo combo going in a couple of matches where I was able to basically, as soon as the wall break happened, still carry them to the wall in the new area of the arena. Because I went, labbed, and found where his combos are after the wall shatter, and like I said, it's like a it's a mechanic to help level the playing field. If, say, you're fighting with somebody who may not completely understand how to get out of a wall combo, it gives them an opportunity to escape if you drop it by the sudden change in position.
I think I understand what you're
But knowing
saying,
that, it doesn't
but
really like it doesn't give the opponent like a massive advantage either.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It gives them maybe a chance to escape if you drop it.
I understand what both of you were saying, and I think Roger actually made like a pretty good like case for it, but the problem is you have a burst.
Yeah,
That's kind of like,
if you waste
that's kind of like where I
though.
am. Okay, but like here's where I'm coming from, where it's like you have a chance to get out of the combo, but if you fuck it up, then that's your own fault. But
I mean, I do agree there, but it's like it's not even like the burst thing, but I'd also argue this. It's like another thing is with the wall break, it's like I just like it because it also just gives the fights a more kinetic feel. Like it makes them feel like dynamic.
Yeah, in games where there's stage transitions, it definitely makes it feel like the location is ever evolving.
It makes it feel like, hey, I'm fighting like in my Japanese animes.
I'll agree to disagree there, but I think the point you're making is good, but it's just something that I do disagree with, where it's like I think corner combos, they feel like they're earned. When you get someone into the corner, I feel like you should be able to
and if you catch them after the wall break and continue into the wall, it's still a good feeling.
That also, the wall break only happens like once per round, so like if you can trap them in the other corner too.
Yeah, they're stuck, so you can basically just keep them pressured.
Yeah, I see that, but it's also kind of like where it's like, why can't I just do this damage in the wall to begin with and not lose my advantage?
Because it keeps the pace up, because you're still having to move forward to get them into the other wall. You basically just keep in the
it's such
just
a
keep
minor thing that I just
keep the
don't find
combo
it really worth
rolling.
fussing over.
Keep the combo rolling, literally.
I mean the combo basically ends after, the wall break, right?
No, you can, like I just said, there are ways to continue it.
You can your combo after the wall break.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
you can. You could totally do that.
Yeah.
Like at the combo break, after the wall break, I still I went like straight up with Grand Viper, then Tyrant Rave, and like I used Grand Viper R Seed into a Tyrant Rave and like just completely styled on some dude.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I guess the wall break isn't as bad as I said it was, because like, I mean, if you still combo after it, then okay, that's more understandable. But it's like, that's not my only complaint with the game. It's just like everything about it just feels like the game is trying to be like something else, but it's like, it feels like they should be like just trying to capitalize on what made like, Accent Core and Revelator so beloved. But it just feels like they're just trying to copy what like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat are doing, but it's like they're not doing it very well, because Guilty Gear is like the original Air Dasher, and it's like, in my Air Dasher, I kind of want, good air dashes, and it's not like I'm the only one who's like complaining about these air dashes, because like,
We're not saying you are.
I mean, yes, but I'm trying to get to a thing where it's like, I think his name is Kenny, like, the guy on Maximilian's streams.
Yeah.
Like he was like he was very
D or something.
I think, but like the point is, like, he was very vocal about how May just seems like fucking ridiculous in this game, and like even Maximilian, even he's like he's definitely way nicer to this game than I am, but even he's kind of like, I think this game needs to be delayed again. But again, like, that's sort of my thing. It's just kind of like, I feel like there is a game here, but it's just kind of like a lot of the stuff from this game is just pissing me off. I mean, you're free to disagree with me. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna fucking stalk you over this shit or anything. But like, and I mean, again, you have my problems with the roster. But like, oh hey, Biken might be DLC, but she'll probably play like bad. Like she'll have like a lot of her moves just taken out and replaced with like worse
about the
moves.
moveset, dude. The characters don't feel bad.
Yeah, like honestly, the only move I noticed was Soul that, like the only move I noticed was Soul that like they removed was his Riot Stomp, which I'm actually fine with because that move is actually like
That's
actually not good.
that's where he bounces off the wall and kicks, right?
Yeah, that because that move is actually super telegraphed.
Yeah, that move is super
Like
bad.
the only reason I
I
ever
never liked
use it
using
is just
it.
because it's just a bad habit I developed and I just like to style with it when I play Accent Core. But I'm glad
It's
they
funny
removed
when
it
it hits, but outside of
instead
that-
it's Bandit Bringer. Because it's just simply like having the Riot Stomp gone makes Soul feel way safer. Because Riot Stomp, like, it was a move that honestly there was never a good time you could ever use it.
You try to
Okay,
use it on me a lot when we play.
Yeah,
Okay.
but and most high level players say never ever use the move. I just simply
Okay.
disagree with it. I just like to style with people, but I can see why. Because the second you see Soul jump back, you could prepare a block.
Like I do.
Yeah. Like, okay, here's the thing though. That case is one of the ones where I'm like, yeah, okay, that kind of makes sense. But I dare you. I actually dare you to find a use for Faust's Scarecrow move.
Actually, yeah,
I've been
it's very
catching
useful.
people.
It's actually- it's a
I've
teleport.
been catching people off guard with that all the time during the new beta.
What are you
It's
talking
it's
about?
literally
That's so-
it's literally his door, dude.
That's just the door.
Okay, but
Yeah.
the thing is, unlike Door,
Like he
that's
can
so
agree.
easy to-
Like he can agree. I baited him into it several times in the different versions of it.
I mean, the doors aren't even really that useful for Faust either, really.
Okay, but like here's the
It's
thing,
easy to it's easy to see. Okay, what door is gonna pop up? Like with Faust, like the main thing you want to use with him is actually what do we have here where he throws a random item out.
Yeah.
okay.
Oh
okay,
wait,
but,
no.
like, here's
What do we have here is his super version.
No.
Okay.
No,
What we have
it's-
here's the regular. It's like what do we have? Here's the super where he like throws out the items.
I thought
The
it was called
thing
"What's
is-
This" for
the
the
thing
single.
is that like when I played like that beta, the Scarecrow was just so easy to predict. It was just like
Or you may have been
Just using the same scarecrow, like how
yeah.
like a Faust player using the same door, you can start seeing. Okay, he's gonna use the front door. I need a block.
like
Whereas
Like,
the trick
I'm
with
not even
doors is
going
you
with
wanna use
that.
them rarely.
And plus,
and more
dude,
to
I
escape
love
a
the
bad
one now
combo.
where he spins on the spot. That one is so much faster than the front door.
I'm not even going with that. It's just like comparing the two moves. Like the Scarecrow, it's just like
Scarecrow is much
what's the-
better.
okay,
Yeah, 'cause you have
no,
to-
but like I
Scarecrow
disagree
actually-
because
Okay, what scarecrows are gonna pop out of? Whereas
Yeah,
the door, you only see the one door, and it's like that gives you enough time. Oh, he's gonna go this way. Block.
The only one that's
Okay.
the only one that's similar is the one where he drops from the ceiling.
Yeah.
can I finish, please?
Go on.
Okay, but like here's the thing, like I saw the Scarecrow and I saw people trying to use it on me, but it's like, what's the point? It's so easy to predict. It's like you always see like the Scarecrow that Faust is in versus like the doors where it's like you do have to at least guess, where it's like with the Scarecrow it's like how could anyone actually fall for this? Because every
Well, the
time
thing is,
it was
like-
like I can just hit him out of it.
Well, the thing with like the scarecrow is that, like again, like the door, you want to use them sparingly to catch them off guard, and like when they're in
I
the middle
do-
of a combo.
And the
do agree.
scarecrows are meant more for combos now. Like the
Yeah,
one where the one
okay.
where he spins on the spot can actually combo in like shorter burst.
Okay, that's more understandable.
Yeah,
but it's
because
like,
I broke a wall on somebody because they were stuck against the wall, and then I did the the spinning in place scarecrow, and it busted the wall.
Okay, like if it's like more of a combo move, that's
Yeah.
more understandable. But like, if you're actually trying to trick someone with you're trying to do like a mix up with these scarecrows. Good fucking luck, because they're so fucking easy to see coming.
Well, then that's just somebody who doesn't understand the move.
So that's more like just look, because again, like that's the equivalent of someone going, "Hey, I got the door. I'm gonna just constantly use front door, even though I clearly need to mix up what door I use and try to avoid using the doors as much as possible."
Okay, but like the thing is, like I don't think this
so
is like
you're-
a player.
It sounds like it though.
Look, listen,
Like it's
okay.
more like it sounds more like you were
listen,
fighting
please.
a scrub that was using Faust and not knowing
Can
how
I-
he actually played.
Can I please finish? Okay, but like
Look
the
here,
thing,
listen.
yeah, basically that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Where it's like, I understand where you're coming from, but it's like the way the move is designed, it just feels like it's meant to like be something that puts the opponent off guard, but you can easily see where the scarecrow is coming from. But like, if it's just a combo filler, I understand. But otherwise, it's just like, no. I can easily see this coming and easily counter it. That's all. Hello?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
But yeah, that's all I really had to say about it.
Anyway,
And
Right.
also, like, the only, like, I think my last thoughts on Strive would be, I honestly would rather play Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, and that's not honestly a dig at Strive entirely, because I genuinely am a
I
fan
think you
of
should
Versus.
just play the next beta.
I'm not going to, like,
the game's coming out in, like
Yeah, and
Is that
that,
what it say?
it comes out on June the 11th. But hear us out though, because, well, at least me and Jesse probably have fast enough internet. We could just share play it with you, and then you could try the full game without having to buy it. At least try it
You
with
know what?
us.
You know what? I'm going to be real here. I will share play the game with you too, and that
Yeah.
will be my final thoughts on the game.
Yeah, you can at least try the full game, because we keep trying to tell
I
you,
will-
it literally seems like they're trying to take a lot of this feedback to heart, and they've been making moves.
I'm going to give the game that. I'm going to give the game the credit where it's like, you know what? I mean, I'm not going to buy it like day one, obviously, because again, I'm not satisfied. But you know what? If I can play the game with y'all, and I don't have to like pay for it, like I will do it then.
And
I
heck,
will try the game.
And heck, I'm getting it on Steam, so we could try it that way as well if you prefer.
That's fine. Like I said, like you know what? Again, I will take you up on that. Let's do a stream of it, actually.
I like the idea.
Yeah, like you know what? This will be the let's sell Soda My Cereal on Strive.
Well,
stream.
not sell it, but it would be kind of interesting to, while we're playing, get your in the moment thoughts on it.
I mean, this is basically going to be like the stream that actually decides if I will buy the game or not.
Like,
So
it's gonna be like, I don't like green eggs and ham, but I will not have it here. Hey, I
Yeah.
actually like this stuff.
Yeah,
It's so true.
it's just gonna be green eggs and
Okay.
ham.
hey,
How did we
No,
bring it up? How did we make a
beers and strive?
It's just
How
like it's
dare
just like
you.
no, I will not play Strife here, there, or anywhere.
okay, I'm very
not play
upset
Strive in a stream.
because you motherfucker.
I
I'm
will
very
not play
upset
Strife with a
because-
fox.
Okay, stop, please, because I want to explain why this upsets me. Okay, I'm upset because the Netflix series of Green Eggs and Ham is fucking amazing, and I do not want my opinion of Strive like associated with that. Like honestly, everyone should watch that fucking Green Eggs and Ham.
Mind if I change it to something from Hellboy then?
Go
Oh
ahead.
Jesus, what are you
Because
about to
in
reference?
Hellboy's backstory, like when he was like just a little kid, like this is like with Hellboy's adopted father, like the scientist dude.
Yeah.
Like it's just simply like, cause like you know how one of Hellboy's favorite food is pancakes. Initially, it's like I don't want this. I don't like pancakes. He's like, hey, I actually like this stuff. Hang on, I'm gonna pull up the screen cap real quick.
Okay.
I mean, y'all are still basically calling me a child, which I mean I am.
No, we're not.
But
I'm younger than you.
that is true.
We're all men, children.
I mean,
here.
I am basically the boomer.
I'm only
our
I'm
group.
only 24.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be 25 soon.
Oh yeah, dude, I have all of the Hellboy comics. I know exactly what you were talking about.
But yeah,
The Hellboy comics, because I really love the movie. The movie was really good. From 2004.
I'm only upset
the Delta 101.
because like again, like that Green Eggs and Ham series is so fucking good. Like,
Part of the
fuck
only reason
Ellen.
they used Green Eggs and Ham was because like it's just simply because it's like that's a TV tropes page for like when people don't like food and it's like, hey, it's like, hey, I actually like this stuff. No, it's gonna be like
Okay.
a one SpongeBob episode where it's like he's gonna find the secret Guilty Gear Strive vault.
Oh yeah, it's just like you like Strive now. Don't use Squidward.
It's
Okay,
like,
but the
no,
problem
you keep playing
is-
Strive all the time. What? Or I'll blow up? No, it goes straight to your thighs. My thighs? And then you blow up.
okay, I have two problems with this because one,
It's kind of like you're joking about Ram and May having thigh jiggle physics. It'll go
no.
right to your
I
thighs.
actually-
It's like the Strive burger. It's like the Fortnite burger, but it's really powerful.
Okay, but I have two problems with this example. One is that you imply that my thighs are fat when they're actually pretty delectable, and two,
Okay, Lady Legacy.
yes, but my second problem is y'all assume that I'm gonna like Strive when I play like the war.
I'm fairly certain you will, or at least your tone will be
I had
changed.
this feeling with Street Fighter 5 for a little while, but then like once the improvements came in, I'm like, hey, I actually like this now.
I'm just going to say this. I will leave it up to when I play like this version that y'all are talking.
I mean, who knows though? It
Let's
might
wait
it
till-
might
let's wait
have
till the
even
DLC
more
comes out. We'll have the
quality of
DLC
life.
then.
It might have even more quality of life improvements. Who knows? We won't know until we
mean-
actually get our hands on it.
Like I'm also
Yeah,
just
I
really
mean-
looking for this game because I'm just ready to see how the story closes because I followed the lore a lot too.
Yeah, this is
I'm just
the
ready to see
ending.
how like
This is it.
the saga of Soul and Batman comes to a close.
I mean, I understand that. Like, yeah, but it's like
Because like
You're-
Guilty Gear is like
you're
probably the only
making-
fighting game I play for the story. Also,
I understand that. It's just kind of like if y'all are like I'm going to be as neutral as I can to this experience. But if I don't like something, I don't fucking like it because already I don't like how the air dashes are done in this game, and it doesn't seem like that's going to be changed.
and then like we
Though-
could definitely at least say this like on a pure objective sense. Like no matter like we could all definitely say like this game will be better than Isuka at the end of the day. That
Yeah.
game was just bad. Especially if you play the PC version of Isuka, where setting up the controllers for that is just a pain.
You know
Like,
what?
it is a pain.
You know what? I actually kind of agree with you because, like, I kind of want to be the asshole who's like, oh no, Asuka's way better than this, but I can't fucking play Asuka because of how fucking shit.
I only have the PC version, and it's like I can't even set up the pads right because I don't know what button corresponds to what because it's an old school. It's an old school PC game too, so you have to like set the pads manually before you even go to the game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell is button 1? Like, what button is this? And it's like, and it uses the PlayStation controller, but the problem is I'm setting up Xbox pads for it.
And the problem too is that, well, it seems like it's trying to be like a Smash type game with
But
like
it's
four
it wants
players
to be
going
like
at it.
Guilty Gear, so it's like more confused about its identity. Where it's like, I can at least say this with Strive. Yeah, initially it's like, yeah, the oversimplification does seem like a bad thing, but when I got around to playing the most recent build of it, I'm like, okay, I can see how this works really well. It's a good entry point for people to go take a look at the even better games like Accent Core.
We'll agree
to disagree there,
whereas
but
Asuka, I'm like, who the hell is this aimed at?
yeah, exactly. Like
Like, you can at least
Asuka
make an
is
argument.
way
Like, I
worse.
feel like you can at least make it a more objective argument with Strive of, okay, this is aimed at distinctly newcomers to the series, but it feels very obvious, like aimed at fighting game fans specifically, not people looking for a party game.
Like I will say this.
Like, here's a 4-player Guilty Gear game, but it plays like traditional Guilty Gear and has like a turn button like Mortal Kombat Mythology.
Yeah.
And then the less said about Dust Strikers, the better.
Yeah, like again, I will. Like, again, I'm not as nice to Strive as you are, but I will say I would.
don't like those games genuinely.
But yeah, I would
The only
say.
nice thing I'll say about Asuka is the music's pretty good.
Yeah, but like I think the only thing I could really say is that like it's not as bad as Asuka.
Yeah, Asuka is just bad. He's just genuinely bad.
Yeah, it's fucking awful.
Like,
Like no defense.
Drive Detractor can at least say the game's functional. Like,
Yeah,
works,
it is.
whereas
Again, like
it just doesn't even work like the way it's supposed to play.
yeah, I agree. Yes. So, is that all we really had to say?
Yeah, but pretty much this is a. But yeah, pretty much closing thoughts. I'm definitely looking forward to Strive. I got my copy reserved. I think I only need to put like $5 more on it, but I got pretty much the copy reserved. I'm picking that up day one.
I'm gonna get day one regardless because I've got it on PS5 and oh yeah, there's a good reason why I'm getting the PC version though, and I told y'all why. For some reason, PS4 pads are not picked up by the PS5, so I had to play the beta with the DualSense, and the PS5 doesn't have any dedicated fight pads or sticks yet. So that means right now, your only option to play it in like any PS5 fighting game is to use the controller, which I know some people do, but those batteries don't last very long at all.
Well, I use fight sticks anyway. Like the only
I
time I ever use a pad is if
I
it
just
goes
said
into the
that.
Switch.
I just said that. There's no fight sticks or pads that are available for specifically the PS5. Like, you know how my pad has a switcher? Like, you know how my pad has, like, the switcher between, like, PS4, 3, and PC? None of those fight pads have a PS5 mode right now. So right now, the only option to play fighting games on the PS5 is to use the controller. And playing Leo like that was very awkward doing his charge motions because I'm so used to the pad. And whenever I loaded up the beta, it was like, oh, this controller is not supported by this PS5 game. Because it's a PS4 controller, and DualShock 4s don't work on PS5, and vice versa.
So, Zero, do you have any final thoughts on it?
So I pretty much, if I'm going to play with my preference, I have to get it on PC, which sucks.
What?
Like, that's what I hate about it.
Because I don't own a 5.
Okay, Zero, do you have any final thoughts on, like Guilty Gear Strive and all this?
No.
No, it's closing thoughts in general and, like, general shout-outs.
Okay. I don't have any closing thoughts. I just hope next time to have more to talk about.
Gonna shout you two out.
Okay.
Be sure to follow them on their Twitter accounts.
Closing thoughts. Also, hey, guys, remind me real quick. Hang on. Let me look something up real quick. Also,
I want to say that I will be trying to play a game probably either
June 12th
tomorrow
to
or
15th. Okay, so it's like right after Strive comes out.
Oh, we can watch that live.
Yeah. Actually, I probably got work that Saturday on June 12th.
Okay. Okay. So here's my final thought. I'm not convinced on Strive right now, but if this whole stream y'all have going on turns out well, I might change my mind. But
Actually, hang on, wait a minute, guys.
What?
I noticed something. The week right before E3 is our next podcast date, so we can talk about our predictions then too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I was actually going to talk about that because
I'm hoping because they're showing gameplay, we get. Sorry, it's just one thing I wanted to bring up. Now that we're seeing more gameplay about it, I would love to see more information about Psychonauts 2.
Okay, but here's the thing I just wanted to say about next podcast is that the Great Soda My Cereal, probably won't be there for it because vacation.
What day would that fall on? You've got a calendar pulled up, Jesse. What would that be? That would be
calendar. Okay, let me re-pull up my calendar. I just had to check because
that
I was
would
guilty as
be that would be
That
June
would be
7th.
on June 7th.
Yeah, June 7th.
Yeah, I won't be here for that.
Okay, we're just making sure. But yeah, if people found this interesting, we still have a little bit of growing pains. We're kind of new to this, but we're having fun. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. And if y'all want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, if y'all ever miss any episodes and want to catch up on our VODs, let me put that in the chat really quick while y'all talk.
Not gonna lie.
I do want to say that I will be trying to stream like Peter, probably if not tomorrow, the day afterwards, and it will be an RPG of some kind or like a tactical RPG. I'm trying to decide between Valkyria Chronicles 4 or Bug Fables now.
Okay.
Not gonna
Also,
lie.
join my
And,
stream
I want to
tomorrow
give.
for.
I want to
Also,
give this
join
channel
my stream
more
tomorrow
footage.
as I play through Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. It's a very fun platformer.
Not gonna lie. I'm actually kind of shocked that this podcast didn't kill the podcast. I'm actually
why would
kinda
it?
happy about that
Why would it?
because
They're
I
gonna get
thought
that
this
serious
was going to
over
be
again.
much more heated.
Keep in
I
mind,
really thought-
we're pretty civilized people at the end of the day. Like I'm the kind of guy. It's like if someone don't like something I don't like, I'm not gonna like throw a massive hissy fit. Honestly,
Not gonna
Also,
lie,
there's less people here, so less.
yeah, honestly, that's kind of where I was going with this. I think
Plus,
that Mr. Dante
people, it's
McQueen
like, well,
were
I will
here.
disagree with people. I generally like part of it's because like my dad, like me, and my dad generally have a lot of differing opinions when it comes to media. Like my dad's
Yeah,
like
but,
really
like-
not into Sonic like at all. He's like my dad fucking hates the Sonic series with a passion.
Yeah, but
And it's
again,
like I'm very forgiving to most of the Sonic games. Like the only ones I really hate are like the genuinely really bad games like 06 or Shadow.
yeah, but like I was saying, like, I have a feeling that if Dante McQueen and Mr. Gunn were here, this would have been much more heated.
Yeah,
Mainly because, and it's not even because like
I think Mr. Gunn is
our
pretty
good friend
tame with
Cedric
his
is like-
opinions.
Cedric's really chill most of the time.
okay,
So
but
is,
like I
He's genuinely
so is
angry.
Mr.
So I think it'd be pretty chill. Like if anything, he'd just be more laughing his ass off.
I agree, but I think also both of them would probably try like pushing my buttons and trying to like get me more pissed off, which I respect. Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
but
it would be dude, crap. Wait, June 7th would be our next day. That means that it would be the week of Strive. Ooh, and
which,
Ratchet
again,
and
I
Clank.
will not be here for.
But I gotta talk about E3 then, because at that point it's just like there's only Strive doesn't come out till like June 11th for me. So remember, I had ordered the regular edition.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask if we could do a special like stream during E3? Like I know all of us can't make it, but if at least a few of us can make it, then I
That's a
think
good
it'd be
idea,
fine.
honestly, for those that could make it, you know.
Yeah,
So I will definitely be
like I can,
available for the Sunday and Tuesday streams for sure.
like I can easily rig it up into this window here.
Yeah, so if we can get like at least three of us or something, I think
Because like
it's fine.
after 3 o'clock, I'm definitely free on Saturday and in general. All right, there. I mean,
But
not
yeah,
even that work on Saturday. It really depends, honestly.
Like
how busy we
here's
are.
the thing: we don't have to react to the entire thing. We could just watch the press conferences when we learn about their times.
Yeah, like
I say if a few of us can
the only
make
real
it,
thing I'm
then
really
we
looking
can
forward to
definitely do it.
E3 is whatever Nintendo's showing off, and probably whatever Sega's showing off if they're there. Because I just want to know what the hell they're
Remember
doing
though,
Sonic
for some
personally.
reason, Verizon Wireless is gonna have a presentation, and I'm like, okay, a mobile company.
Now
think-
they're getting into the console business. We're gonna have the Verizon box station Switch.
What if they
If
just
they
walk
have
up?
many
What if they just walk
telecoms-
up on stage and they're just like, "Hey guys, we bought Nintendo."
Okay.
Verizon's
Okay.
gonna be like, we bought all 3 console
Hey.
manufacturers.
Hey! If I may say something on this, I say if we can get at least 3 people
Because you know I'd
around
be
that
down.
time, we can definitely do that. I think
Yeah.
I think as
Again-
long as we have a few people we can work with,
We'll
it
see who's
doesn't have to be
the
everyone.
fighter fast character, but I'm not gonna say I'm gonna save my prediction for like right before E3 and
Because
just on the podcast because I'd rather wait till then.
I can definitely be
Like-
there. So
like,
that would be
again,
me,
so
Roger,
could
and
I.
potentially somebody else.
Again, like count me out of this because again, I'm going to be in
Oh, man, good one, by the way.
Florida.
No, you'd probably be
But-
back by the time E3's around. It's not that week.
What day is E3?
Yeah, what day is
E3
it?
like June 12th through the 15th.
I
So
might
the
be back
so the
then.
day after Strive.
Yeah, and the day after Samurai Showdown on
so he
Steam, which
can
I'm
run.
definitely going to get because like I love Sam Show.
Oh yeah, it does release on Steam, doesn't it?
Yeah, on the 14th, which I'm definitely fucking getting because
I
I
wish
fucking love it.
we knew who the Guilty Gear character is.
I hope it's Biken, but it'll probably be
guys,
Nagoriyuki.
what if the Stride? What if
be
they set
legit.
up like a Stride trailer and then they could immediately just Smash
Watch it
Brothers?
be like
No,
all
no. What if
characters,
it's like a
gonna be
trade-off? Like we get
We get Solo and Smash.
no, it's like, oh my god, I forget the name of the
Smash, I'm gonna be like fucking hyped as shit, man. I really got
Soul will
to
like-
never be in Smash, you fucking.
no, Haomaru. It's gonna be Haomaru. He's gonna be a guest character in every fighting game.
This character getting smashed clearly.
I
it's
don't
going
think
to be-
Haomaru
it's
will
gonna be
really
Conway
feel-
from Right
will
Hell
really
Retribution.
fit in.
but I am predicting this. If anybody wants to hear something wild, we're gonna have a guest character in this new Guilty Gear. That's my prediction. I think because every modern fighting game is doing it, Guilty Gear is going to.
Perhaps.
Guilty Gear guys.
You know who I think would work very well in Guilty Gear if they added him? If it was going to be a Sam if it was going to be a Sam Show character, I would love for it to be Ganjuro.
Oh yeah, the gambler. Like that goes back to my theory of like how.
I don't know who they would pick. I feel as though they would pick
because
Naruto.
Ganjuro would be a
Guilty Gear, dude.
Ganjuro would fit very well. He's an angry samurai, and they already have an angry pink-haired samurai.
Yeah, but
I don't think a lot of people know who Ganjuro is.
Dude, Ganjuro is one of the most used characters
That'll
in
kill
that
you.
game.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Yeah.
I'm
I
talking
agree.
about like brand image wise. I mean-
Ganjuro is one of the most iconic characters in that series.
Genjiro's Homaru's rival. He's like
Yeah.
super.
I'm not saying he's not noticeable. I'm just thinking they would probably pick someone like Nakaru or
honestly,
whatever.
like I actually
I'm the beach again.
go over Genjiro. Honestly,
I think
the
it'd be
bitch
funny
again.
for the angry pink-haired samurai to clash him and Biken.
Biken's pretty much rational, whereas like Genjiro isn't.
But they're both angry pink-haired
That-
samurai.
That kind of goes in my theory.
Biken has a genuine reason to be angry, though. If you follow.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
boring. Die.
Whereas
Motherfucker.
Genjiro's like the kind
Let me
of guy you look at him slightly. Genjiro's the kind of guy that if you take his jumbo jack, he will kill you.
Jumbo
Okay.
Jack sucks, Ganjuro. They don't even exist yet.
Yeah, okay, but here's the thing, like, this kind of goes into my theory of how, like, Haomaru is actually the real villain of Sam Show, and Ganjuro is basically who they pawn all of Haomaru's baggage onto. Because, like, Haomaru is a murder hope, okay? He
We
is.
get here, honestly. Like, how did we get here?
Talking about
I
guest
agree.
characters.
Yeah, so should we kind of end the podcast here then?
Yeah, I think we should probably end it. It's like 12:45.
Alrighty, guys.
It is
Yeah,
late.
everyone have a good night. See y'all in
Yeah,
2
everyone
weeks.
have a good
Or,
Take care.
yeah.